Alrighty, folks, welcome back to another TTRPG Halloween special. This time featuring Dice Imitate Life. So, for the lovely people at home, who are you? What do you play normally, or where do folk know you from? And what are you playing tonight? Starting with Nate.
Sure. Hi everybody. I look a little haggard. We are less than 24 hours away from our own launch tomorrow. So luckily I'm playing a character that fits the thing. I just want to tell you a little bit about Dice Imitate Life very quickly instead of my character, because typically I don't play a character. I play a lot of smaller ones and less important ones than the other ones you're going to see here. If this sounds rehearsed, it's because it is rehearsed. I am reading it because I am very nervous speaking in front of people, which is a bad thing to have as a trait if you're a streamer. But something I'm working with.
We all start like that, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Long story short, I'm Nate Sugar, and I should be dead. I'm not. Instead, I am honored to sit here beside a few of the members of the Dice Imitate Life project. I spent over a decade creating Vicasia, the setting from a series of hospital beds, in what all accounts should have been the end of the story. But it wasn't. So I've spent the last few years trying to turn that world from a book setting into a tabletop RPG sandbox, and recruiting other unlikely survivors to join a simple mission: to bring just a little more hope into the world. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, Dice Imitate Life will formally launch Thrice Sworn, our premier campaign live stream. We're also opening the gates of our community to the tabletop hobbyist and curious alike, provide a safe and welcoming space to make friends, play their own campaigns, participate directly in the project, relentlessly mock us every week, as we desperately deserve and probably need. And if you want to support us directly, you can find us on patreon.com/DiceImitateLife. Everything's currently sort of being redesigned and reworked, so I'm sure it's going to be a little bit of a mess, but I hope you give us a chance. We are focused on supporting various charities, including Mental Health America, some human rights organizations. The idea of Dice Imitate Life is that dice and life are chaotic things, and that it is a thing we all have to survive, but we can do it together as a party, as a group, as a cohort of knights, and if we can raise some awareness and some funding and things for those causes to do that, then it doesn't matter how many people watch. It matters that we've made the world a little bit better. So that's Dice Imitate Life as a whole, explained disjointedly, nervously, and with way too many uhs. But tonight
You did great,
is way easier.
Don't worry about it. You did great.
I appreciate it. We'll agree to disagree, but I love it. Tonight is way easier, because tonight I play Mere Starling Blackvein. This is, of course, Mere Starling Blackvein of the Blackveins. I'm sure you know them. They are currently the heads of what they would absolutely not call an almost overwhelming iron mining monopoly. He is looking for an authentic adventurer experience. He was lucky to have a contact that knew some guys who set him up. Apparently, there were some people getting ready to undertake a quest. Not just people, artisans, real actual adventurers. He could go on a fully immersive adventuring experience, and it'll be fine, because all of them are experts in their fields. He's been assured, and that's why he's here, and that's how he knows them. They're about to meet, or he's about to meet his tour guides. I don't know what they think they're about to meet.
All right. Well, Next we have John.
Yes, I'm John, and I'm on the other side of the globe. I'm in Australia. Also part of Dice Imitate Life. That's kind of a given. Also extraordinarily nervous speaking on camera. Two, I'm in good company, I suppose. In Dice Imitate Life, I play a vigil who is kind of like a nice death priest. They do last rites for everybody. They look like ring wraiths, but I assure you they are far from them with that. So his name is Ratsvad, and we talk like this, something like this. Just to add a slight creepy edge, I suppose. He's a lot of fun to play, and he's a psychic which freaks out the knights that he is accompanying.
Yes, not a lot of magic in Vicasia, and the fact that he
Yes.
has some makes people nervous.
And to be honest, yes, Rasvan's psychicness makes him a little nervous as well too.
Luckily, he's chosen to cover people by looking like the Grim Reaper.
Yes, he does look like Grim Reaper. You can't see his face. He wears a hood and a veil, so he never takes it off. At least never in front of anybody else. He's like the Mandalorian crossed with a Grim Reaper. Yeah, never takes his helmet off. in
But
public.
does grief counseling?
Yeah, grief counselor, yes. So that's Rasvan. I'm very excited to get back into the Vale again, so to speak. And tonight I am playing Zenith. Now Zenith is a lover of all things occult, to the point that this is something of an obsession. And despite his interest in getting out there and exploring all of the different things, he's terrified of anything with more than 4 legs. And that should be killed with fire. Anything bugs, the little stuff. But if it is ghosts, if it is ghouls and goblins and undead, that sort of thing, that's his jam. He probably wouldn't describe it as that, but yes, he is a tiefling. He is very robust in figure. Goat-like horns, a tail, of course, it's obligatory. An older guy is in his mid-40s, I suppose. And yes, he's and he fancies himself an expert in all things occult. Whether or not he really is an expert remains to be seen. It will probably be the death of him, but there we go.
Alrighty. Next we have Kenny.
Hello, I'm Kenny. I am also from across the pond rather than across the world. I'm from the UK. I am an actor, a singer, and a voice actor, and I am also very, very lucky to be a part of Dice Imitate Life. In Dice Imitate Life, play the character of Kiav, who is the charming, or intended to be charming, but who spends most of his time making light of particularly unpleasant situations.
Yes.
But there may be a little bit more to him than meets the eye, as his knightly brothers recently discovered
Just a little.
in the story. But tonight I am not playing Kiav. Tonight I am playing Kurgrak the Crusher? Question mark? He is a great half-orc barbarian. Definitely a barbarian and nothing else. He's a very imposing figure. He's got a broken tusk. He's got tattoos. He looks rough and tumble. Just how rough and tumble he is depends on whether or not there's anything deep and like wet around, or if there's anything feathered and honking. And that's Kurgrak. That's the dude. But yeah, come join us tomorrow as well for Dice Imitate Life. It's going to be an exciting time. Could be nice to step back into Kiav's shoes. Have to remember to do his accent.
Oh God, you're not going to be happy to step back into his shoes.
No, well, no, yeah.
Well, maybe
I'm
you as a
happy,
person.
he won't be.
There will be a distinct difference between the character and player tomorrow. Sorry.
Sure.
Is that right? And finally, for this group, we have Morgan.
Hey everybody, my name is Morgan. I work day to day trying to help people in humanitarian efforts and preparedness. But in the evening, I like to work with these fine fellows at Imitate Life. I believe in the project, and they make me very, very happy to interact with every day. In the stream, in Thriceborn, I play Cuff Bronze Page, a gnomish wizard. I am the only gnome in the group, and he is definitely of the opinion he is the smartest person in the room at any given time, and that might be the case.
I think there's
but-
empirical evidence to.
Yeah. Oh, that is like almost definitely the case. All the time.
He is he's definitely very concerned with the safety of the people around him, even so much so that people that don't have direct organizational ties to him maybe put him on a back foot in a way that makes him concerned for not just his safety but their safety. Beyond that, he just has a very hard time speaking in Common. That is not his first language, and it never ever will be, probably. But tonight I will be playing Ardril. He is an elf wizard, but more importantly, he knows about all the things that go bump in the night. And he knows that they're out to get him. They're out to get all of us, and he knows a thing or two. Well, or 40. Not exactly sure which ones are right, but some of them are. Some of them are right, and he's gonna get down into the nitty gritty and then figure it out. Now, the one thing that should probably be noted is I'm not a fan of any kind of lycanthropy or any kind of shape-shifting, really. Not a fan. That's a little odd. And anything that's maybe not from like this plane or like this world, maybe a little bit too much for him.
All right. Well, as the players, let us begin. So, starting by saying, as with every single one-shot we have ever done with Penance RPG, you have responded to the request for work on the wall of a tavern. As you are waiting in said tavern with the rest of your group, a backroom door opens and a man in a relatively fine-looking butler suit walks his way out and goes, His Lordship the Honourable Fabius Vincenzo Cassiano Matteus Conforti III, Admiral of the Order, Protector of the Realm, Personal Huntsman to the King's Kitchen, Highest Bishop of the Divine Lady, Recognised seventh in line to the throne of Duskenhoff, Master of Wit, Wisdom and Wholesome Living, Father of Fabius Vincenzo Cassiano Matteus Conforti IV, the soon-to-be uncontested King of all Duskenhoff, bids you enter his illustrious chamber. Please remove your shoes. What do you do?
Would you mind repeating that just one more time? For the minutes.
The butler sighs and goes, His Lordship, the Honourable Fabius. It just starts and goes through the whole thing.
Dean,
You're gonna
man,
take
you should know.
Zeta
The most
to
important
try to
part
jot
is the
down
shoes thing, man. The shoes thing.
Right.
Right.
I'll take
I'm suddenly looking down at my shoes in a way that can only be described as unbelievably protective. They are good shoes, real adventurer shoes. actual bronze toes, everything. It's great. What if you have very, very good shoes?
I suppose you can wipe them on the mat.
Oh, don't worry, they're pre-wiped.
The butler just gives you a very tired look and goes, "If you'd follow me this way then, gentlemen." And just turns round and walks into the room.
I'm watching all three of them as they walk, and then I'm trying to imitate some amalgam of all of their walks as I walk behind them.
Archeryl's staring at everybody's feet.
Kirkrak is just holding his boots and walking forwards.
See, this is a sign that they know what they're dealing with. Okay, it's commonly known that lycanthropes they can't change their feet. It's how they find out if people are actually, well-known facts.
Good.
The feet, of course, it makes so much sense.
Of course. It is the cast.
I've never seen. The only time I've ever come face to face with a lycanthrope, I suppose, his feet weren't what I was looking at. So you might well be right.
He wasn't wearing boots, was he?
You know what? I couldn't tell you. I was moving in a very different direction.
My
Fair
golden dear
point.
friends, let's move. To take off the
I
boots.
guess.
And
Ripping my boots off.
I'm leaving mine on.
Tying the boots like laces together and just slinging them over the shoulder, and then in.
Alrighty.
Molding one in each hand.
I'm happily heading inside, chest puffed out, sort of tail snaking in the air behind me and staff in hand. Trying to look as professional as possible, despite the fact that I'm wearing socks with holes in them. Now visible since I'm not wearing boots anymore.
Alright. Well, you walk in, and as you follow him down the small corridor, it opens up to another large room. Immediately, as soon as the door in front of you is open, there's a quite strong smell of cheese hits your nostrils. And as you walk inside, you see in front of you a gigantic banqueting table, piled high with several dishes of food, and behind it, making quite loud sort of, some might say grotesque eating noises. You hear this gigantic blob of a gentleman who is continuing to fill his face full of food. As you stand to this side of the table, the butler walks around and goes, "They're here, sir." And the blob sort of pops a head up, and you see this from inside this large lump of sort of pork he's eating. And he just sort of turns to face you, and there's grease and drool just dripping down from his beard. And he just looks and goes, "Good, you're gonna work for me, yeah?"
I'm already walking like toward him, like I've separated from the group instinctively. I'm sitting down at the table. I'm looking for silverware. I'm just getting ready to sit down and eat.
At the moment he can't see you for the layer of food between the two of you. But he goes, "Right." He leans over and he takes this massive goblet of wine and just starts guzzling it back and goes, "Well, Jessup, tell them what they're here to. I want her back. She can't do this. She can't leave me."
Ooh,
And then you just see him just take handfuls of food and just shovel it into his face. And the sort of butler standing there and like, and he starts walking around the table, and as he gets halfway round towards the rest of you, you hear, and he goes, "Oh, sir, you need to learn to chew." He pulls out a small bell, rings the bell, and three rather burly men all rush in and start doing a Heimlich maneuver between the three of them. Eventually, this massive chicken bone just flies out of the throat and lands on the table in front. It's only met by, "I told you, Jessup, less solids." And again, starts grabbing huge handfuls and shoveling in his face as the butler...
That's how they'll get you the solids. They never mince it, you know? They chop it. They never mince it. And they blame you when you're choking.
The butler replaces the bell and walks round the rest of the table and goes, "His lordship would like you to return his wife and child who have eloped to the Isle of Mheruath."
Can't imagine why. Bewildering, honestly.
Yes, it was a
It's a-
it was a surprise to us as well.
You're right. There's an air of mystery here as well. Why could it be?
Oh,
I mean,
Sure.
the food's exquisite.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, so, would you, we will pay you quite well. And he again pulls out a different bell, rings it, and he's he's a very skinny looking elf servant comes running out the room carrying this reasonable sized bag. He goes, here's a bag of gold. He just drops it on the floor and goes, that is your payment. Please return his lordship's wife and child. And,
I'm not complaining, but we're getting paid before we do the job.
this is to keep you loyal.
You know what? I'm here for it. That's fantastic. Marvellous.
Wonderful. I'm sure they'd love this. What's this? This looks like almost enough money to buy lunch, right?
Well, yes, you will receive another of its kind when you bring back the wife and child.
Well, look
Oh.
at that. Per diem for all of you. I hadn't even planned this part. I hadn't. I really hadn't. Not even the kidnapping. It's
No.
probably werewolves.
No.
No,
Oh my God.
no.
Right. So, have any idea whereabouts we could start looking? Obviously, they went to the Isle, but do we know if they got taken there, or if they've been
As far
kidnapped,
as
or if
I'm
they've been?
aware, she went on her own accord. She left a small letter. And he puts his hand in his pocket and pulls out a small piece of paper, and he opens it and goes, Dear Jessup, please inform my husband that I am taking our son, and I am going to the Isle of Mheruath. I must seek out Artemis the healer, for I feel I've been living in sin too many years. Please note, I will not be coming home. Love, Lady Catherine. He folds it and puts it back in his pocket.
Do you know this Artemis?
Oh, I've heard the name. He's some sort of charlatan that is seen around many places. He just seems to do these sermons for people. I mean, it's the gullible that fall for it, sir.
Wait. Are you talking about the Artemis?
Yes, well, I don't know if he's
He
got a title.
changed my life. Don't mind his
know?
reputation. Oh, he knows the secrets of the universe. It's very motivating. I felt
Quite,
empowered. I realized the money comes to you if you just truly wish it.
And they're born with it. All right, good. Let's go seeking this Artemis then on the Isle of Mheruath. How do you get to the Isle of Mheruath?
There is a boat that leaves in the morning, sirs. I've already paid for your passage.
Oh,
And he hands you a small,
oh, good.
a small sort of token style thing that mentions admission on the boat.
all right. Well, what do you think, gents? You all on board? We all good for this?
Yeah, this the
suppose.
whole abduction thing is kind of it's kind of rattling around in my head now. Abductions have a lot of implications. A lot of implications.
Do you have any further questions, sir?
Are you all right, mate?
Oh, don't start.
All right. No, okay.
And he sort of looks over.
Oh
And
no,
there's just a snoring pile in the back corner, and he's like, well, at least he can't choke while he's asleep.
Or maybe he can choke while he's asleep, and you just happen to be in the next room. Just an idea.
Oh, that would be terrible. You wouldn't be able to ring the bell.
Oh, that is very true.
God, they
Don't let
told
him
me
hear that. He'll keep up all night to watch him.
No, right, no, we don't want that. All right, well, thank you very much. I'm content. First.
All right. Well, if you have any other further questions, please just ask away. But if not, I will bid you adieu and hopefully see you upon your return.
Oh, I reckon I have as much information as a I need 4 now. You have clearly suffered enough. Then it will not keep you any longer.
Well, thank
You,
you for your grace.
Do you have any digestibles? Afraid of eating quite a bit.
He sort of says, do you mean food, sir, or do you mean the bicarbonate soda?
The food you have after you're done eating the food that digests the food better.
He walks over and just
And wine.
slowly just pushes a plate out from the pile and goes, I think you'll find that will suffice, sir.
Yes! Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, look.
And he
Hey,
just-
I guess I've just got one question. You like, have you seen anybody else? Or is there like any competition or anything?
Well, I haven't sent anybody else yet, but she's only been gone a couple of days.
Oh, thank God.
If none of you return, then maybe we will send another party in about a week or so.
Oh, we won't take a week. Though I do like to see the scenery.
Quite, it is very picturesque, I'm led to believe.
Oh, yes, it's the home of Artemis
The
Mheruath.
sense of urgency is palpable.
Indeed.
Has this happened before?
I was just about to ask that, yes.
Not that I'm aware. His lordship only married Lady Catherine about, how old is the young master? Young master is 7, so he must have married her about 7.5 years ago. As far as I'm aware, it has not happened before.
Right.
Ooh.
She's getting a bit
Wait,
long
he
in the
had any
tooth, isn't she?
other, wives before Lady Catherine?
No, he didn't really have wives. He had a small harem, but it was the first one to bring him a son that he was one that earned the wedlock, as it were.
Ah, of course.
Right. Delightful.
Well, Zenith was feeling somewhat peckish, but for reasons beyond my understanding, we're not feeling quite so hungry anymore. Don't have to wait outside for the rest of you, my good friends.
That is fine, sir. I will inform his lordship that you are taking up the offer. And he,
Yep.
Indeed.
he walks
Yeah.
around, and if he gets about a foot away, he just takes a small stick from the ground, just pokes the man a couple of times, which is just. They are taking the offer, dear sir. They've accepted the deal, and they will return Lady Catherine and the young master to you.
Good. Oh, my other appetite's acting up, Jessup.
Oh, sir, I've already hired several women this week. The agency don't have any more.
Get me more!
Oh, sir. And as you leave, this poor butler goes through a door at the back. As you leave, they leave the audience of this gentleman.
Grabbing up
Oh,
the big pile of
mistake.
gold as we leave. Just-
So,
The Zenith is getting the impression that Jessup could probably use this gold far more than we could. Still,
Probably.
I'm not going to say no, of course.
No, we're keeping it though. Yeah, no, for sure.
alright. So, you have a decent night's rest, and the next day you head down to the docks to get on the boat. And as you arrive in the docks, you hear a,
You, sir! You, yes, you lovely gentlemen! Would you like to have it salvation?
Salvation, how?
Ah, well, I know of a holy man, sir, and he will provide you absolution.
I think that's what. Absolution?
Yes,
Is he
sir.
on the island of Aroof?
Oh, you've heard of it,
Absolution
sir.
from
Well,
what?
let me not keep you. The boat is over there, but if you'd like a pamphlet, it'll be more than welcome to have one.
I'm ever a curious one. I will not say no to a pamphlet.
You get pamphlet.
Please.
he offers you
I
this.
like pamphlets.
No. This isn't right. This isn't the way to Artemis Ruth's house. The motivational minstrel.
No, we're going to Artemis the Healer on the island of Mheruath.
Totally
Oh.
different person.
Oh. Oh. Hmm.
Alright.
Well.
Were you not paying attention when he was telling us where we had to go to the Isle of Mheruath?
Did you not
Don't
taste what
believe
was
you
on the
was
table?
hungry.
No, I didn't touch it. I didn't want to eat.
It looked like
well-
it was pre-touched.
Exactly that.
Yes.
You don't have
love
someone
food
pre-touch
is,
your food.
Ugh.
How do you know how it feels?
By touching it. What?
Sometimes you
Just-
can tell there
just
should be
without
fingerprints on
warning?
food.
I think Sir could do with a chewing room, where his servants chew his food for him, sir. Then he spit it out
Oh,
onto a plate.
Yes.
Only on Saturdays. I don't do work on Saturdays.
Of course, sir.
Oh,
That should be,
dear.
sir.
Otherwise, I'm just like you. It's a blue velvet collar.
Yes, sir.
It's the sort
Totally,
of
sir.
person I
Yes.
am.
Yes.
Oh, well, we'll try this. I'm sure this man has something to offer, right? We want salvation, absolution.
He's a
I'd
wonderful
say to take the
gentleman,
pamphlet.
sir.
Alright, go on. Give us a pamphlet.
So he hands
What
out
sort of details are in the
So
pamphlet?
it basically just talks about the Isle of Mheruath, where salvation awaits. You notice multiple spelling mistakes on as it goes further on, but it mentions Artemis, and it says, "Find the healer Artemis, famous healer, the one who healed Big Boris of Duskinov." And
Oh,
it's
Big
just
Boris.
the words "Big Boris" have been written in very big, thick letters, so it covers about fifth of the page.
Spectacular.
He seems big.
Well,
It does imply that.
Yes, sir. Big Boris was healed. And the fact he was beheaded the next day has nothing to do with Artemis.
Oh.
What was he?
I'm sure this will prove useful to some degree or other, but
What was Big Boris healed of?
Oh, well, he'd been shot with many arrows, sir. He was a bandit. But he
Right.
repented, and then he tried to steal the king's horse and was killed.
I'm just beheaded. Right, okay.
We sort of printed this out before he did that, sir.
of course.
Right, okay.
So
Yes.
we'll not be able to look up this Boris for a testimony or that kind of
Well,
thing. That would be a bit difficult.
He's sort of dead, sir, but when he was in custody, he admitted to a lot of things.
Right, right.
Do we have any necromancers in this group? And anybody who
Oh, no,
communes
sir.
with
We don't dabble in
the
that.
dead? Oh no, I was asking them. I haven't properly
sorry,
got to
sir.
know them, like so to speak. But I do know they're all very authentic.
Yes.
Yes, any of you
Only
deal with the dead?
in the academic sense, my good friend. Only in the academic. The students would never dare attempt to raise. No, that would be uncouth.
Spooky.
Yeah.
That is another word. That is an apt description.
And I'm not someone, clearly, never touched magic a day in my life. Alright? Sword, shield, very much so about
Oh.
hitting things hard.
Orcish as ever I've seen.
Yeah, no, totally orcish, that's me. The
Are there things
orc
they say about
with the half orc.
that? Is the things they say about half orcs true?
It depends on the things that they say, but some of them are, probably true, yeah.
That's saucy.
Oh gosh. Okay. Hey, fella, I have a question
Yes,
for
sir.
you. On the quiet,
Yes.
how deep is the water between here and the Isle of Mheruath?
Oh, well, it's the Ardent Sea, sir.
Oh, good. Right. So quite deep. It goes quite deep.
Yes.
You'd say.
It's very, very deep, sir. Yes.
So we're not talking about just like a ferry across
sir.
a
The
river.
Mheruath is about 3 days travel that way. And
Oh,
it's,
good.
3 days.
yes, it's a little bit of a trip, sir, but it's more than worth it for the end time.
Wait a minute. That means
Fantastic.
she hasn't even got there yet. Cause she
Yes, she
left
did.
like 2 days ago.
Sir?
Oh, no one. The proverbial she.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, yes.
You know,
yes, sir.
like the spirit of love.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yes,
Exactly
like
that.
the spirit of
Wait.
love.
Somewhat.
We're four fellas on a quest for love.
Oh, well,
Zenith is
I wish
gonna-
you all the best, sir.
Well, I think we're gonna be safe on the water.
My life got better when I
the
met
North
Julian.
Star.
He's a wonderful man. Makes me feel
Oh.
whole inside.
Oh, good for you.
It's a
Good for
I
you,
like that.
my dear
What?
friend.
What a moment! We're sharing a real emotional moment. Just all of us, regular people. We're just at the end of the day, isn't that all we are?
I think I'm gonna
We
be in a
are,
memoir.
All right.
Zenith's sort of lavender skin is going very, very pale. Going to walk past Ardril and a hand on the shoulder. I don't suppose it is too late to back out. Now, is it?
It is far beyond that point. We have been paid. We were specifically told that this makes us loyal, so I am pretty prone to believe that. And if it soothes any of your fears, I've actually learned that lycanthropes can't cross running water, so that means that we're going to be safe on the boat.
You're
Safe.
lycanthropes.
Yeah,
On the boat. Stay safe on the boat.
yeah.
Well,
Just don't
except
get
for the
off of it.
fins.
Fantastic. Great.
Well, unless it's like,
Well,
you know, like a were shark or something. Or like a were
Right.
Is that a
catfish.
thing?
the sooner we are there,
I mean, I hope
less
not.
vomiting we
Look,
will do.
I was making it up, but you don't talk about it.
Right. Oh, okay. No, you brought it. You said it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I don't know
well-
what to.
Right,
So-
Black Vein, that plate of food, just don't let Zenith see it. You're welcome to that plate of food entirely. Please enjoy quietly elsewhere.
So, Mr. Blackvein is currently looking very, very concerned at the boat because the boat seems to be just a boat, and one of his core fears is being without creature comforts. There seems to be a distinct lack of amenities on this boat, and so he's sort of looking around, and he says, "So, where will we be setting sail from?"
Oh, it's right there, sir. And he just pointed to this.
Oh, it's going to-
this boat that's slightly seen better days, but it's got quite a lot of people getting on board it.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, listen. Don't worry, gents. They're
Splendid.
going to ferry us to the boat, and then we'll set sail.
No, we have to get it on the boat
Right.
with our legs.
And then they'll take us there, sail us right up. It's a much larger boat. Yeah, I mean, you may have not have seen them. You've
Oh.
done a lot of
Oh,
water
you
travel.
think it's a bigger boat? No, it's that
Yeah,
boat there.
Yes, it's ferrying us to the boat.
That is absolutely correct.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Why
Black
not?
Vein, step one is get on board this one first.
Yeah. Right. Of course.
All right.
So I'm a veteran adventurer, of course. Of course.
I'm lifting the edges of my long coat as I very gingerly step into the boat,
To the
and then
boat.
I'm trying to find a
I'm
place
not
in the exact
leaning on my
center.
staff at all. For support,
Yeah.
All right.
but Zenith will trudge heroically,
All right.
not at all terrified.
So you get aboard the boat.
Yeah.
The boat sets off. and the next 3 days are very uneventful. You're sort of
Thanks,
staring
Tommy.
at nothing on the horizon.
Well,
Once land leaves, there's not really been anything to do. You're just kind of
there's
sat
a
with your own
lot of
company.
vomiting. There's a lot,
Yeah.
lot of vomiting.
Excellent.
It's
So
a
once,
lot.
after about 3 days, you hear someone from the crow's nest shout, "Land!" And as you rush to the side of the boat to see, you see a small island coming up ahead, with a quite large stone lighthouse in the middle of it that's cascading light down upon you, even though it's afternoon at this stage. You see quite a lot of light being sprayed out from this lighthouse. And the closer you get, the more you see there are hundreds of sharp rocks just festooned all the way around this island. And you see several ships that have like crashed into them that are still... as you can see from here, there are several ships with people still on them trying to get safely to shore. But your ship makes its way around the island and docks safely in the port. And as you arrive into the port of Mheruath, you are greeted as you disembark from the ship. There's a long line of people, and as you join the long line of people, eventually you come to a small table where there's a dwarf and an elf sitting there. And as you approach, you hear a, "Hello there, I'm Nigel, and this here is my friend. This is Norman. So yeah, welcome to Mheruath. We'd like if you got any donation to our magical cause with helping the poor." And next to the table is a small, very pathetic-looking empty crate with like 2 really cheap-looking swords and a single copper coin.
I mean,
Can you break a gold?
Excuse me, did you just say can we break a gold? Norman, let the man
Change.
talk. He's only just got here. Sorry, no. We are going to donate.
Oh. I don't know. What are you supporting?
Well, supporting the poor. You know, the people that don't have much, you know, like, well,
Oh,
they,
the
they don't
lazy
have,
ones.
he looks in the sort of box next to thing. Well, they definitely don't have much.
Sounds like they need to be born rich.
you know that's sure.
I'm just happy to get away from the ship. Give
Oh,
them
did-
a gold coin.
Yeah,
Oh, bless you very
get
much,
them
sir.
gold and all.
Appreciate
Or
it.
the donation will be more of whatever's left inside.
I put a gold coin in as well, and I say, just make sure none of them spend it on junk, you know? Get them a job application or something.
How would you define junk, sir?
I don't know. The things that are unnecessary. Save them money. They'd have enough for a proper boat. Turns out that wasn't even the main boat. Did you know that? I don't know what they did with the main boat.
At this
We
point,
sailed the whole time on the transport boat.
the elf frantically looks at the dwarf, and the dwarf just goes, "Well, not all boats are as good as each other. I'm sure you had a wonderful time. Maybe you met some seagulls. I love a good seagull. Toasts really nicely.
I did meet a lot of seagulls.
Oh, well, there you go. You've made some friends for life.
Yes, I will remember them forever.
That's the spirit. All right,
So
well,
Bet you
many.
can call on them.
if that's all of you here, thank you very much, and I hope you have a good time on the island."
Oh, do you know the way to Artemis, the healer?
To Artemis. Oh, right, Artemis. He'll be doing a sermon at night time. It's just getting
What
to
night?
evening now, so not for a good few hours yet, but he'll do one at night time in the town square.
Right, all right, lovely. Anything to sort of check out before then? You think?
Oh, well, there's
Place
an
to
inn.
rest in the meantime.
There's lots of craftsmen in the town square. There's lots of picturesque bits of the island. I don't know if you'd see much at this time of night, but I'm sure there's
Ooh,
lots of
someone
lovely
could
things to
sketch-
see.
Someone should sketch me having an adventure.
That's yeah. I bet you could find a person to do that in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I like this.
But
Very well.
now I have a question for the twos of you. Did you see like a lady and a kid get off a boat just like a day or two ago?
Let me check the record. And he looks through a book and goes, just women with children?
Yeah, just like women with children or a woman or a child individually. I'll take like combos.
Currently,
werewolves.
just looking at yesterday,
I swear to God.
No, I'm just saying. What if they were werewolves and they were then we didn't ask whether they were werewolves. So
Why
So
has
rule us
everyone
out.
got to be some sort of lycanthrope?
I'm just saying it's possible. He said don't rule anything out.
Right, okay. If I hear horses, no. If I hear hooves, if I hear zebras, no. Right. If there are hooves sounding, I'm gonna think horses not got there. Horses not zebras.
that's
All
what
right.
the elf's
Not
looking
shit,
confused and then just looks back at and goes, well, yesterday we had 17 women with children. And the day before there was quite a few more as well. We didn't take a note of any of
jeez.
the ages or anything. We just know that it was women with children. There was lots of men with children as well.
I don't
Thriving
give a,
domestic
I don't
community.
give I don't give one layer of hell about them. That is so unimportant.
well, I'm
Jeez.
sorry,
all
sir.
these women with kids. Oh, they're getting abducted. Oh, I can tell. They're all getting
Just
abducted.
curious. Did any
Almost
of the women
certainly.
look like they came from nobility? Fine dresses,
he
a
flicks
lot
back a
of
few pages.
coin.
And he goes, we don't really have notes, sir. We just really have names and, only if they want to give us them as well. Are you giving your name, are you, right now?
It's dreadfully
Okay.
boring.
So he goes, well, I don't really know what to do. Have you got any more notes there, Nigel? And the dwarf goes, well, I don't really keep notes. I get sort of distracted easily. Take this one, for example, where I'm sure there was a big group of people, but I just wrote down, there's a very attractive dwarf lady with a nice beard.
Priorities. It's not,
Oh,
not bad.
she had a really nice beard. It was so bushy. Oh, you just gotta love that.
But you know what? Whatever floats your boat, you know, you got to do. Yes, absolutely, spectacular.
Quite
So it
lovely.
looks.
Not everybody likes them woolen, but let me
That
tell you.
sounds to me like love. And what I see here is somebody who's potentially ready to fall in love and to help these four fine fellows help reunite love.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, that's
Reunite
exactly
to
what you
love.
see.
That's a wonderful thing. What can I help you with that? Do you want me to keep a note for someone?
Turns and looks at everybody else. Goes, fellas?
It is probably more likely we'll find more information about the Lady Catherine at a place like the inn or so. If it has been a long journey,
All right. Well,
she
I
will
won't keep you
probably
any
need to
longer.
rest.
I won't keep you much longer then. If you want to, the inn is just over there in the town square. If you want to head in for a bit, me and Norman will keep up with this and see what we can find.
Great.
That would be brilliant.
All right. Well, thank you again for your
Zenith agrees.
donation.
That's a hey guys, can I have like a gold from the bag for my
Yeah,
cut?
yeah. Hang on.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
As much as you need.
That's great. Yeah, cool.
Per
And
diem,
he just
that's what
like
it's for.
very casually tries to throw it towards wherever they're collecting their donations. Like,
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Keep on doing the good
Oh,
word.
we'll keep up as well as we can, sir.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
All right.
So
Therefore,
as you walk away
the
from,
inn.
no, sorry, Nico.
Honestly, he's just asking if they're heading off to the inn. That's all.
All right. Well, as we get into the first time
Hmm.
slot, your options are you can stay at the docks. There are a bunch of people coming in on ships and moving around, but again, mostly just seems to be the queue of people who you've mostly been on the ship with. But you can stay at the docks. You can go to the lighthouse, where it looks like a bunch of people in robes seem to be talking next to it, or you can go to the town square, which looks quite busy. What would you like to do?
I mean, he was going to be there at the town square, right? So.
Later on in the.
Oh, we're still in the evening, aren't we? Right.
Yeah,
Right.
this first time slot, sorry,
Preach.
is day one evening.
Right. I'm happy either way.
So it's evening now.
It's evening now.
Oh, okay. Well then probably the town square to see the dude.
Zenith agrees. Anywhere that is away from the docks is fantastic.
All right. So, happy with town square for slot one?
Town square sounds good.
Okay.
Yep.
So
As we're walking there, I'm saying, guys, I really think we're bonding. It feels like we're all just four adventurers together. You're doing an amazing job, and you with your extensive knowledge, elf man. I know your name. I just chose to call you that. But I'm just saying, I really admire it. You're very perceptive. I can tell. You see things other people don't.
I grab you by the shoulders. I guess you're a gnome, huh? I grab you by the
Yes.
shoulders and I like crouch down and I look into your eyes wildly and I say, if you ever find me dead in a field, look to the stars for answers.
I will. I always do. There are so many. What I always say is the theater's underappreciated in
I
our
just turn
culture
around and
today.
start walking
The
away.
tickets prices are fair. The value is, yeah, and etc. Yeah.
all right.
And then he follows along behind.
So you head.
After witnessing that, I could use a drink.
I am with you there.
Or 3 or 4.
So you head over to the other side of the island, to the town square. As you sort of arrive in town square, it's relatively busy. There's quite a lot of people about. There's one quite large inn, but leading from that inn out into the street is quite a long queue of people, some of which look like they've been sitting there for quite a while. There's also several shops and stalls. There's a blacksmith, there's a baker, there's a fishmonger, there's a general trader, and there's a quite large stables. As you approach, you see a tabaxi running out of the inn and enthusiastically run over to talk to the blacksmith. What do you want to do?
I'd like to head in the general vicinity of this tabaxi and blacksmith because it looks very interesting. As I'm doing this, I'm holding my staff and it's maybe glowing a bit on the end. I'm cooling myself down because it's a bit humid on this aisle. He's just sort of like waving it, like almost sort of just gently in front of his face as he walks toward them.
Okay.
Seems to not be aware of what anybody else is doing. He just thinks it looks exciting.
Alright. So if you're walking over towards the tabaxi, what are the other three of you doing?
I also was going to head over toward the blacksmith and
Okay.
in general, but if that's where the tabaxi is, then I'll go that way as well.
Yeah. I just don't think Mir can be left to his own devices.
That's reasonable.
Zenith is in agreement there. And see if he notices the thing with the eye staff as air calling and stuff, I'm just going to send sort of currents of heat in the same direction with my fire staff just from behind.
Yeah, you see
Awesome,
back
it's like I run
sweat
hot.
start to darken the back. It's just starting to peek through the long coat. Like he's wearing a nice, like a very thick lined sort of violet sort of velvet covered long coat that goes to about to his ankles, and the back sweat's starting to just peek through that just a bit. And he's just waving the wand slightly more vigorously, or not the wand, the staff. It's actually a very nice staff. It has very tasteful nudes of him in masculine poses, like engraved all down the length of it, and the top of it is just a beautiful jewel designed in. It looks like the shape of his mother's face, maybe. The face of a middle-aged woman's face.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
Deeply concerning.
So you head over, and as you get close to this conversation, you hear,
Right, so, how about you just, you let me do my magic, and you do your magic, and then we can start dividing up your house. And then I'll make sure that one of these,
and he gestures with wiggling fingers towards the big long queue of people,
can get in there, and then for every one you take, you get gold a day, right? So if you can get all of them in, you can get some gold. And that's a lot, isn't it? Some gold, right? Not just one or two, but I mean, all you need to do is say, Petal, you're a genius, and let me fix your house.
We are adventurers.
And the blacksmith amidst responses turns to look at you all and goes, sorry, Petal, I seem to have got business. I'll talk to you about this later.
Well, no.
Oh no, he's welcome. I love him.
Oh well, it's very nice
It's
to
adorable.
say. Well, I mean, is Sir in the market for anything that a business savvy tabaxi could be assisting you with?
Business savvy, you say?
Yeah, he just sort of puts his sort of melds his fingers together and just leans over.
Goes, yeah, it's business savvy. Yeah, a little bit of coin goes very well for Petal.
That's what I thought. Like, here's the bag of gold. Invest. You know?
Oh yes, sir. Invest that bag will be well invested with Petal. Yes, sir. I'll just take a look to see how much
I
is
look
in
back
there.
toward the half orc, and I'm like, this sounds like a great opportunity. I mean, I don't know
what would
everything, obviously, but
No, it's apparent. What's the investment opportunity that we're seizing on, my friend?
If you invest that in old Petal will, I'll do whatever you want, sir. That's a lot of gold. A lot more than Petal's seen in a while, so Petal will do whatever you need, sir. If you need ferment around the island, if you need me to shove some of these saps that have got rooms in here out, I can get rid of them for you, sir. Get you a nice accommodation. I mean, you are a very finely paying customer, sir.
So, did you say you're going to put people in sacks?
Well, it beats them having no cover, and I can still charge them for it. So, yes, maybe sacks would be a good answer, sir.
I love it. I love it. It's so efficient. It's so.
Oh, bah.
Right.
So, how well do you know this island?
Could I have one of those sacks?
Oh, well, I mean,
I
this
missed
is
your
the
name.
premium sacks, and you have the gold there. I couldn't part with one just for nothing, but your friend has a deal. Yes, friend. Oh,
Sure.
What were you saying, sir?
He points to Zenith.
I missed your name. What was your name again?
It is Petal. Sweet Petal.
Petal.
Yes.
Sweet Petal.
Petal. Right.
Such a fragrant name.
Yes, my mother was crazy.
Zenith approves. How well, Sweet Petal, would you say you know this island?
Oh, well, born and raised, of course, along with my brother. He's Cumulonimbus. He's, of course, the fishmonger, named after our mother staring at clouds and thinking that he looked like one. But he's not important, sir. Old Petal would very much like your investment.
Do you have any back powder?
Back powder, sir. I can get some for you. All you need to do is finally invest with a little bit of gold.
I don't know, guys. I think this sounds like the solution.
So
I mean, you're the
solution to
expert.
what?
We could
Oh,
use a
I-
guide around the island, someone who knows the ins and outs, and
Oh, I know the inn very well, sir.
Yes.
I own it.
He even has
Wait.
premium sack.
You're only in.
Yeah. I'm the
But
innkeeper.
Mia, I really got to dial down on this, Mia. Did you think it was like metal with the back powder on the aisle as like the solution?
Well,
to our problem.
Well,
I mean,
I just
here's what I know. I've been on a boat for 3 days. It hasn't been particularly adventurous, and my back is very sweaty. So right now I'm trying to deal with the crisis at hand.
oh, how about
just gonna-
I go and get you some back powder, and you get a gold ready for old Petal. And when I come back, we can trade.
Yes, I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
I will-
Do that.
I will return momentarily, sir.
And she just skips off
Something
towards the
with
end.
lilac.
You're paying for that back
Senators are
powder, you know
somewhat
that, right?
curious.
But yes.
We would like to go out to the blacksmith and ask a question.
Okay. You go up to the blacksmith?
Sorry to interrupt. I will not keep you from your business, which I can see is very important. Valuable service to the community, yes. But what is the Tabaxi's deal with? What was he offering you? I'm just.
He was offering because we've got a slight lack of accommodation, and the mayor's not letting him just build bits on the side of the inn. He's got to take houses that are already built. So he was offering to divide my house up to let people stay there.
And you are amenable to this arrangement to have a house divided up into smaller houses?
I'm quite a private person. I don't really want to set, random people into my house. But it's a lot of gold he's offering.
How much gold is he offering to take in order for you to get gold?
Oh,
What's the split here?
He said that he would just let people in, and he would charge them 2 gold a time, and 1 gold would go to me and 1 to him.
Surprisingly generous.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at him because he seems to just be genuinely trying to make some money, but at the same time, it does feel like you shouldn't give up your house for it. If he needs people to come in.
He's been asking everyone round the town square if they'd want to do it. He claims he's given me the first offer, but I don't think he has, because I know he's talked to everyone really.
It'd be subversive, though. You're meant to stay in an inn, but the inn you pay for is a blacksmith. Like, I kind of love it.
At this point, the tabaxi reappears with a tiny bag.
Ah, well, Petal's back. He's got his small bag. This is your back powder, sir. Just a little bit of gold, and it's all yours.
Can I have a quick peek at that powder, just to make sure it's the kind he likes?
It's a family secret, sir. I mean, I know you have that gold now. I'm sorry, but it's
I'm
a
reaching
small,
into I'm reaching into
tiniest
my coat.
fraction of what you have there for this family secret back powder.
If this is kosher, I was going to have him have like a personal little purse, and he's gonna reach in there and but also if not, then if you don't think they would have like brought money specifically, the group money?
It's up to you. It's up to you. You can have had divided the group money out when you're trip on the boat, or you could have kept it all in one place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll split it up.
All right. Then yes, you have your own money.
Oh, I'm absolutely.
Okay. He gives you the small bag. He takes a gold off you, and he flicks it in his fingers, and he seems quite content with the gold coin.
That's wonderful, wonderful. Well, I hope it helps your back,
Yes.
sir.
I'm sure it will.
Do you want me to have a look at that before you put it on your back?
Oh,
Make
yes.
sure it's got the right lilac ingredient.
Take a whiff. You're going to do. Oh, please take a whiff. You think I was going to have first smell of a back powder?
Oh no, absolutely you shouldn't.
Have you not done this before?
No.
I'm
No.
Yeah,
I'd like to.
hand the sack over to you.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have a
See
whiff and
sense of
see if
heat in the direction of Blackfang.
it's getting more and more sussy.
Yeah,
You take the
We
bag.
get a little armpit darkness here. Yeah.
You take the
I
bag
do
and you
have
just sniff the bottom of it, and you go, doesn't really smell of anything.
Right. Okay.
Are you
I
gonna
have the alchemy ability. Is there any way I can sort of figure out
roll alchemy?
and just add what the number is
Add
on
what the
the
number is at the top.
scale?
Yep.
Cool. That's going to be an 18. That's quite
18.
nice.
It's flour. It's 20
I
grams
hand
of
it back to
flour.
him. I hand it back to him and I go, you know what? This is top quality. Actually, this is top notch.
I knew it. I knew it's local.
Just also, it's a special. Don't breathe too much of it in. But like, yeah, it'll do a trick.
Oh yeah, no, you do take it orally.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but I'm saying like, be careful is what I'm suggesting. When you put it down your back, be careful you don't inhale too much of it.
Oh, you silly man! No. Whichever one of you puts it on is more than welcome to breathe up as much or as little as you'd like.
I'm sorry, what?
What? Kill me.
I don't-
my dear friend, you seem very sure of this.
Her drill is just
Oh,
turned around.
I'm looking Zenith dead in the eyes and going, oh no, it's the right stuff for him.
Excellent. Zenith would be happy to apply it.
All right.
Zenith, you are an angel, which is ironic. Wait, is it
what
offensive?
one adventurer does for another. This is in the contract somewhere, I'm sure. And then down his back.
Yep. You just sort of dust down his back with this white powder that just sticks to bits of him as it goes on.
Yeah. I'm holding my coat and my shirt up. I'm bending over, just right in the town square. Just very good, even. This isn't. Just swipe it around a bit. Oh, it's a bit like it's got a bit of a clay texture. Strange.
It is
Goes
not
on
a different
dry, but-
technique from the sand on parchment, with ink.
Very
it's perfect.
absorbent.
It is for
I love
sweat
it.
and aroma, is it not?
Ah, yes, sir.
Aye.
You always get the finest thing with petal. Don't you worry about
Yes.
that. If you ever need
You
any
know, you
more,
could charge
sir,
more
I can
for
have
that.
it.
There's no
have
doubt.
as much or as little as you need delivered to you. As
You
quickly
should
as
be
possible.
charging more for that. That's what you should be
Oh,
doing.
that's nice of you to say, sir. I mean, if you'd like to donate to the ancestral petal fund, where we look after old age petals in their younger years.
It sounds like a worthy cause. We're going to talk later. I'm going to talk later.
yes, sir, of
Because
course,
I
sir.
sense an investment opportunity.
Oh, always, sir. Always, sir. Just you call for your old petal will come running, don't you worry, sir.
For now, I've got these experts there to direct us on the next stage of our adventure, but I think it's going extremely well.
Well, sir, I'll leave you to it.
Shall
and
we
I will-
make it official then?
Yes, I will.
Battle, we would like to hire you. We are new in town. There's
hire
adventurers.
me.
There is much that we wish to see.
All right, okay. Well, I do
Well,
have a
guide,
cart
I
for
love
sale that I would. I would hate to part with, 'cause it's an old antique family cart, but I could part with it easy enough for you, sirs. Yes, no problem.
Antique.
Yes, only the finest antique range, looked after for generation to generation of my illustrious kind.
I'm gonna just go aside to Ardal and Kurgrak.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get Kurgrak right?
Yeah, Kurgrak.
Kurgrak, yeah. If we're not careful, Zenith has this distinct impression that Starling Blackvein is going to purchase everything this Tabassi has to offer. Whereas for Zenith, the idea is we could use someone to just fill us in on the interesting places and maybe find where the Lady Catherine went.
Yeah.
Would you wish an intervention to stop him from buying absolutely everything he's going to sell?
I mean,
In the background, you can hear me. I'm chattering to the Tabaxi gentleman about the potential this place has, how quaint and authentic it really is, and he hopes the main boat's repaired soon. It's asking for details about the antique cart and maybe things it may have been used for, or events that might have taken place near it. He's just doing that.
Yep.
Anyway, continue.
I'm happy for him to spend his money however he wants, provided it's his cut of the money, you know. But I do think, I have two minds about him. This Tabaxi chap. One, he might know a lot. He seems like he's got his nose in lots of other people's businesses. But two, he'll probably cut our throats and bleed us dry at the first chance he can get his hands on all of our cash. So I don't know quite which way he's balancing right now.
Do you think we could like ask him if he's like helped the lady find housing?
Maybe actually, it's not a bad. It's not a bad shout. Go on.
I agree. Go ahead and
I mean, like, I really don't want to. Crap.
It's your idea, Adel.
Yeah, it should be
Son
used
of
as
a-
it.
Just
I like the way you've
Oh,
chosen
my good
to miss
dear
it. Just
friend, you can do
one
this.
spoke. One spoke on either wheel,
Oh,
so
yes,
they're
sir.
unbalanced, but both at the same time provides a texture to the ride of the
Oh,
show.
yes, sir. When one
Mr. Blackvein.
when one goes, they all have to go, sir. Otherwise, it's uneven on the cart. The cart can topple, you know. Gotta be very careful of that. Yeah.
Might have to remove a couple more on our way, just in case.
Oh, yes,
We don't
sir.
want to
Yes,
be
sir. I mean,
garish.
if you get on that cart and you find it's tipping, maybe I can move some more spokes for you. Or maybe even
Right.
change the wheels. Oh, there, yes, there's like... they're only cheap as well, those wheels. I mean, finer wheels can be found.
That's
Anyway,
true.
This is a disaster waiting to happen.
Mr. Blackvein, there's something important. I think you've got us onto a big lead. Done an amazing job. All right, pedal.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
Man,
sir.
that is definitely a pseudonym. That's great. So let's go ahead and just cut this where it needs to be. We're looking for a Lady Catherine and a child, and we're wondering, have you maybe helped set anybody up in some of these homes to inn situations that you
Well,
have going on, these blacksmiths and beds?
Well, sir, I don't so much ask names as just sort of put people into the inn. But I suppose if I was suitably compensated, I could go and acquire some names, maybe.
That does sound like a great business proposition, doesn't it, Mr. Blackvein?
Oh, you can call me Mia. We're adventurers. We're equal.
That's, yeah. Doesn't feel like it.
Oh, I know, but no, I really am. I'm one of you. I really am. Everybody says so. A people person.
That's a weird connotation. You're telling me I'm one of you, but that's a whole other discussion. We'll pick that up later. But I think it would be in your amazing interest to compensate this fine gentleman for his efforts in finding the Lady Catherine.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I immediately pay the tabaxi. I said,
Turn around and look at the other two, and I'm like,
Oh, well, if you'd like me to do it tonight, I'll... If you'd like me to do it tonight, I'll do 2 gold. I mean, if you'd like me to do right away, I mean, 5 gold greases the wheels very quickly.
Do you know what?
You're right,
Six
sir.
And
You're right, sir.
6
10
and
would be a
with
wonderful
smile.
idea. Let's do 10 and split it down the middle.
Well,
that's work.
It's like watching a train wreck.
Now,
Ardrill's still staring at the other two, like.
I do know arithmetic, and bartering typically goes downward.
You're right, sir.
Not
You're right,
directly
sir. I'd be
upward.
taking advantage. 12 is the minimum we should possibly do. I'm sorry I went over.
This man drives a hard bargain.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God, it's
because
a grift. No.
he's a con man.
It's.
Oh, he's a conman. You're trying to take all
I
of my
take offence to
gold.
that, sir.
He takes
my,
offence?
My standing as a noble, business savvy tabaxi cannot be seen to have such slander upon my name.
The easily offended con man. Interesting. It's good. It's good. It's got texture. I like it.
With a chapter of this part of your novel.
I think you'll find my fee is now doubled, sir. That's easily 32 you owe me now if you want me to do this tonight.
Who taught you maths?
Well, probably his maths tutor.
Yeah, my master, he was brilliant. He was called Bill.
You know what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I do have some level of numeracy myself. I'm gonna say I want to see just how good a value we're getting for the money, and maybe get a general idea of whether I should be deferring to my partners in this venture.
All right.
That's a 12. Plus 4, so 16.
16. You have a feeling he's probably asking a little too much.
You know,
Just a little.
we're going to confer, and then I'm sure we'll reach an ideal amount for all of us. We all leave happy.
Oh, well, how about I do this, sir? Lightning deal, 33 and I go right now.
Ooh, that is tempting. You know, I wish I'd done some of that math. I do remember them talking about it endlessly, though.
Oh, yeah.
I have endless conversations
how about
about
we
it.
do simple maths and just call it 40?
It does simplify it. It does simplify it.
I mean,
Quite
zero in the end, that's always the simplest part.
I'm getting signals from the party, and I sort of turn around and I say, all right, listen, I'll let you handle it. Yeah, I'm sure you're more familiar with the local flavor, but I'm just saying. Think about it. When you talk to him, you'll understand.
Right.
Jeez. That's look. All right. So here's the deal. I very, very gently, but very firmly cut my hands over Mir's ears. He's not bright, and I'm very aware that you're taking advantage of him.
Oh, sir. Would
So
I,
are we.
noble petal, do that?
No, we get it. We totally get it.
All right,
But here's the
all right,
thing.
give me 5 gold, I'll fuck off.
You know what? I will give you 7 gold, and you don't say a word to him about what I just said.
I will keep it under my hat, sir.
Just take my hands off and immediately start fishing for the gold.
That was very nice.
Just turn around. Mia, you did amazing at your bargaining. You're
you.
a businessman like no other.
I felt like I was. I was born that way.
The tabaxi just bows before you and goes,
Yes, you're a mathematical genius, sir. I'm working against the best.
and just
It was-
heads off
I'm
towards the
working
inn.
with professionals. You notice they insulated my ears while they were talking.
Oh,
Noticing,
you know,
of
nice
course,
warm
the
hands,
town
sir.
square,
Keeping
very
you warm.
noisy. My ears becoming fatigued.
Oh, yes,
Gambling
we-
against the bank, it's
Oh.
hard to do, you know.
If you ever need ear fatigue powder, you know where to come. Our petal's got you covered.
Do you have an ear fatigue powder?
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh
Apart
my
from-
god.
You know, later.
Later, sir.
And the tabaxi heads off to the inn.
Now that I think what it really is.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just following happily along.
Alright, well, good work, Ardil.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
jeez.
that was Yeah, no, right. Should we have a look around and just sort of wait? I don't really want to go to the inn now that I know that he runs it. But like, should we just wait, like, hang around and
As you
see if there's a market stall?
As you look around the rest of town square, you see there's a couple of people talking to traders, and in the sort of back end of the town square, you see there's a hastily built stage, and there seems to be in front of it. There seems to be a man making some sort of giant cauldron full of soup.
Ooh. Right. Grubs up.
Yes.
And it's
Head over there.
All right. You walk over and you see a slightly stringy-looking man chopping up mushrooms and throwing them in the pot. And as you approach, he goes,
Ah, you new? Welcome to the island. You here to see Artemis?
We are.
Oh, right.
You've
Well,
heard
he'll be
many good things.
he'll be on stage soon. Would you like some soup?
What kind? I mean, I can see there's mushrooms.
Oh, yes. It's,
Sorry, Dennis, you go ahead, mate.
I thought. Is this soup for like everybody?
Oh yeah, yes, sir. It's a large cauldron of soup, sir. Yes, sir. We make it every night. It's Artemis's request. It's cave mushroom.
Oh.
Anything
I've never had
besides
cave mushroom.
mushroom in the soup?
Water.
Necessary ingredient?
Yeah,
yes,
that's
I'm
just really
sure.
about it. To be honest,
It does make a good soup, Liquid.
It does help.
How much for a bowl of the
Oh no,
soup?
it's free, sir. It's a compliment of Artemis.
Just free mushroom water, just right there. That's
Well, yeah, yes, sir. I mean, it's you know, it's just we make the soup, we hand it out to everyone. I mean, there's not enough food to go around otherwise, so
you know what they say. You always want the skinny, stringy sort of chef, because that means they're not a little goblin stealing it all, tasting it all the time.
I will take that as some sort of compliment, sir. Thank you.
Yes, this is very slender. I can tell you're not a mooch.
If it would be easier, sir, you can't just call me
to
Brian.
replace
Thanks, Brian.
everything I ate on the ship. I've thrown up, so give Zenith a bowl. Zenith will try the soup.
you take this bowl of soup. You sniff it. It smells like mushroom soup. You drink it. Once you've finished, you feel oddly satisfied, like you'd had one of the best meals you've ever had in your life, and you just feel this wave of calm just flitter over you.
This is what I mean
That was
about local
delicious.
cuisine.
Don't know what I was worried about.
Oh,
Feels fantastic.
Ardril, I think Ardril wants to take a long look at those mushrooms. Maybe use nature to determine if those are
Oh, well, this is the one for you, sir.
hallucinogenic.
And he gestures to a table where there's like a huge just pile of mushrooms that he's just dicing up. He says,
Oh, have a look there. Anything you want to look at?
Yeah, just I just want to take a look at these. I've been through my fair share of benders, and I just want to make sure nothing got mispicked.
Oh, no worries, sir. Away you go.
so,
I'm
if
gonna
you
grab
wanna
another
just roll
bowl.
nature and see.
Okay, here we go.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna grab a bowl, walk up behind Ardril, and just hold like one hand on his shoulder and the other hand holding the bowl out. Come, try some, live a little.
So that's a natural 1 plus 5, so that's a total of 6.
Natural one. You immediately look over them. You pick one or two of them up. You sniff them and you go, no, that's fine. I'd know that they'd smell bad if they were doing anything. Put it back down.
It's
Yeah,
all right.
try some. But
You're
you
right.
right, my friend.
It's actually interesting.
it's free soup sold by someone who doesn't eat any of it.
It's actually pretty cool because the last time I had soup like this, with mushrooms like this is actually how I discovered the existence of some of the things out in the stars. Just like tips it back.
Yep. Once again, once you've finished drinking it, you feel this odd sensation of just like you've eaten well, and you just feel calm and at peace a bit with the world.
Perfect.
Splendid.
I have to say. It's going wonderfully.
Do not know what I was worried about. How long before this Artemis takes
it
to the
should only be a
stage
coup-
to grace us with his presence?
It should only be a couple of hours, sir. Don't worry about that. Are you here for absolution?
We are here for absolutely everything.
Oh, wonderful. Then Artemis will wait behind and he does absolution every evening. You know, blessed be and all that.
Does he do a Q&A sort of situation
Well,
where we
he-
could ask him a couple of questions?
He sort of walks with the people, sir. He's very grounded,
Right.
is Artemis. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Tell me
He
this.
doesn't need a bed or anything. He sort of sleeps on the ground and all that. He's very grounded.
Is it in the ground or on the ground? That's an important distinction.
Well, he's not one wolf. That's what you're asking.
All right, well, that's good to know.
Oh, I
cannon.
love it so much.
All right, well,
That just
good.
made my day. I'm curious. My
Artemis
good sir.
Bulgaria.
So, this Artemis's healing abilities, is it academic? Is it magical?
Oh,
Is it divine?
he's blessed. He's Artemis. He sort of just kind of focuses, and then things sort of go a bit glowy, and then they get healed. He's a remarkable man.
Does he have to touch them?
Oh,
Does he,
yeah,
does
yeah,
he
he has
reach
to-
out and...
He has to, focus on the thing, and then it sort of fixes itself. Really, his skills are remarkable, if you ask me. But then again, I would say a lot more about him. But it's a personal investment.
Spoilers, of course. Now, we've heard of some of these healers that would point at someone in the crowd and they would fall over and be cured later on.
Artemis is the kind of person that if you don't keep an eye on him, you'll be away off healing bloody sick people in alleyways.
So what
Right.
inspired them to start all of this? Is there a
Well,
biography that we can read?
To be honest, he was he used to live.
Hello.
He used to live here. He was raised here, in fact, and then he left to do his sort of, world travelling stuff, and then he came back. But, there's circumstances
like
to all that as well.
a pilgrimage.
Yeah, his family didn't look too nice in it. His brother's not exactly the nicest person in the world, but he's what he is.
You know what they say, a prophet has no honor in his own home, of course.
It's very true.
Is he?
old saying we've
Oh,
heard
is he
somewhere.
almost the nicest person in the world?
Well, I would say he's the nicest person, but then
You
again,
would say he's the nicest person in the
well,
world.
he is my significant other, so yeah, I would.
That fair, and that's good. That's wonderful support.
Honest chef in just a truly healthy relationship. This is what we want to
Yeah,
see.
he makes the he does the sort of sermons, and I feed everyone.
You know what?
We sort of do it together,
You know what? I'm going to help you. There's a lot of people here, and it sounds like you've been serving the same soup for a long time. But there's a new thing that we've been doing lately. You're going to love it. I'm just giving Mummy a little dip. And after he says he's going to give Mummy a little dip, he takes his staff and he sticks it in the cauldron. And I'd like to use my magic to freeze the soup completely solid.
He just looks down at the soup and goes,
Now-
why have you done that, sir?
See, now it's a bit of a cold soup. Or alternatively, a bit of a crunchy soup. And
I
and
see.
people are getting a lot out of it these days. It may be hard to extract being in a cauldron. I didn't think of that. Okay. It will cool, and you can maybe just scrape some off, and I'm sure that some people can. Honestly, the experience, there's a change in the flavor when it's cold.
he's just nodding at you with a very confused look in his face.
Just one teensy, weensy moment, if I may interject. Mir, are you entirely certain you understand how soup works?
Well, I mean, as much as anybody does. It's a mystery. I mean, who really understands everything about soup? It's wet and it's food.
I'm sure
not a
that
drink.
there's
It's a mystery.
A good idea. Maybe in a smaller container,
Yes.
a smaller stick.
Well, and you don't usually want it to freeze solid, but Mum's a bit enthusiastic. Wait,
yes, and
pardon? Who's?
well, if it were to be sucked or eaten off of a stick, you would want a stick that was smaller and something that has been washed first.
Yes, typically you'd like to just
Probably
cool the soup down very, very cool. It's been a bit overcooled, but like I said, Mum, she gets a bit over enthusiastic sometimes.
Right.
Wait,
My good fellow,
your mum?
what was your name again?
If you
I
mean me,
missed your name.
it's a Brian, sir.
Brian.
Right.
As good an idea as this is, would you prefer cold soup at the moment or piping hot soup?
Well, the hot soup seems to warm people up, sir, so it's a bit more ideal. It's already a bit
Right,
cold and nippy in the air. It's getting to that time of the season.
Yeah.
I'll grab my own stuff and instead of just jamming it into the water, hold it down to underneath the cauldron and heat it back up again.
All right.
Great.
nothing like
Reheated soup. Everybody loves
Frozen
it.
and reheated. So yeah.
We are one step away from soup sickles.
Flash frozen and
Flash frozen and flash heated. Tasty.
Yeah.
we will call this the microwave dinner, to heat.
Missing an opportunity.
All right.
Uh,
Brian, sorry, you said he's your partner. Do I remember, was the name of the guy's partner back on the other end of the land? Did he not say his partner's name was Brian?
Jessup's was something else. I'm trying to think what it was. My brain is trying to remember, but no, it definitely wasn't Brian.
Okay, no, that's fine. I was just like, sorry, did we bump into to Artemis and just not realise it? Okay, cool. All right, never mind. All right, well, Brian, I feel like we're just kind of interrupting your process and service here. Thank you for the information, and we look forward to Artemis's. Is performance the right word? Deeds.
Oh, yeah.
And doings.
He talks a bit. There's Artemis, but he's got a lovely speaking voice.
Oh, that's nice. Is there any way? Yeah, exactly. They're good. They're good with their words.
Oh, yeah, he's a proper wordsmith.
Is there any possibility of a private conversation with Artemis,
Oh, well,
a man of the people,
as I
and we are in fact people?
Well, as I said, after the ceremony, he'll probably come down and talk to everyone. He sort of does that. I can't really stop him.
Okay.
I try to stop him if there's anything going on that's a bit worrying. But I mean, as I said, if you don't keep an eye on him, he'll be the kind of person that finds his way to stabbing alley, and he'll be the one healing the stabbed. He doesn't think about danger.
Right. One last thing from me, anyway. Is there anyone of note that's come for absolution over the last couple of days? Maybe like a noble woman or their child?
It's a lot of children. There has been a lot of children. No noble women that I'm aware of, though. Mostly it's just been sort of, for want of a better, refugees, nomads, weird bastards.
Weird bastards. All right. Good.
Just a question, and this might seem silly. So you know a lot of the locals, of course.
Well, yeah, I grew up here.
And there are a lot of people coming in and out all the time. You're serving soup, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Were any of the adult women that you served? Were any of their eyebrows properly maintained?
Yeah, no, I've never actually looked at a woman's eyebrows and asked myself, is that properly maintained? I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start doing that for you, sir. I will do that from now on.
And sharp, straight, and angled. And I'm actually
Sharp, straight, and angled. I'll remember that. I'll write that down.
This is actually this is a rare moment when Mir is sort of showing that he might not be a complete idiot, because what he's thinking is, if you're disguising yourself as a common person, one thing you couldn't do in 3 days is regrow manicured eyebrows, and she was a queen or yeah,
soon to be queen.
Yeah, queen, very close to being queen.
As you.
So that's a. I don't know if there's a rule for that, if you really just wouldn't have paid attention.
As before, it's not something you'd have paid attention to. A lot of people had picked up and stuff. At this point, a very similar voice comes behind you. Goes, "I've returned, dear gentlemen. I've looked through all my archives, and I can tell you that I have not had any nobles living in the inn."
Great. That, that really narrows down the hunt.
Well, that's what you asked, sir.
You
mean you paid me that 40 gold?
He does a very obvious wink to you.
That's right. That you are correct.
I wink back.
Now I will say I actually appreciate your service. I wasn't being sarcastic. It's just been such a long day. But
I mean, if you'd like some of the beds, I could kick people out the inn for a couple of gold each. I mean, there are only 7 beds in that inn, and there's easily a couple of 100 people in there. But the ones that have parts of the beds, I could kick all them out if you give me enough gold.
They could always get a sack.
Exactly, sir. There we go. Entrepreneurship at its heart.
Right.
I do not think that is necessary at this point.
I'm thinking there's a very, very underserved sack market
they have. No.
Well, they have already paid up front for at least till tomorrow. But I go around with the bucket, collect money tomorrow, so I could just tell them then that they have to get out. But only if there's been suitable payment in exchange.
Just feel like that's a really good way to, get stabbed in my sleep.
Oh, well, that would require them to have decent weaponry, sir. Most just have butter knives.
That's
not very easy to stab someone with a butter knife, sir. Believe me, I've tried.
Hey, that's, honestly, that's impressive.
It's alarming, but
best thing is to go for the ears, sir, because then you can get better grip.
Oh, yes, grip. That does seem important.
Yeah.
I'm trying to...
Anyway, sir, will there be anything else from Darling Petal?
Fellas?
No, not that Zenith can think of at this point in time. We're more likely to hang around here, have some soup, and wait for Artemis to show himself.
Well, if you do find yourself in the need for anything, just remember Petal's the name, gold's the question and the answer. Just find me in the inn, sirs.
Petal, have you had the soup? Because it is delicious.
Sir, I don't partake in anything I don't make myself. Old trader custom.
But it's delicious.
Old trader custom, sir. Old habits die hard.
You have to have some. You have to have some.
I'd be happy to pay you a gold just so you can try it. It is exactly as Ardor said.
I'll throw in a gold too,
It's worth it.
Well,
consider it an investment if you like it.
A couple
Maybe
of
able
gold
to sell
for me
it.
just to drink some soup. I mean, I could.
It's actually hell of a deal.
I'm afraid my old noggin says no. I don't trust anything that I've never made myself, and that's never steered me wrong yet. I'm afraid.
Really wish I could do a
Not this
bluff
time,
check.
but
on that.
maybe in future, sirs, when a more genteel time. Anyway, adieu. And he just makes his way back up to the inn.
I don't know who wouldn't want the soup.
What's your thoughts?
Do you?
All right.
Sorry, Brian. Do you and he ever have any interactions? What's your opinion on old Petal over there?
Oh, he's as far as I can tell, he's a money-grabbing cunt.
All right, fair play. Good to know that you know got a good pair
Well,
of eyes
when
on you.
Armus came back, we originally were looking for lodgings, and Petal said that we could have a twin room if we paid 4 times the price. So, no.
Yeah, no.
Only
that doesn't
4
seem-
times.
Well, yeah, he said once for each foot.
It makes sense. That's what I'd do.
One for each foot of the room.
Oh,
I'm getting a.
I think he
Monsieur
wanted to lead
Thénardier
into that, but
kind
we
of
said
vibe
no.
from Petal.
Yeah, no, fair. All right. Well,
He's good with his words, his Petal, but that's about as all thing he's got good going for him.
yeah, no, he's a bit of a knob.
Oh, splendid.
All right.
If we wanted to find a specific person, who would you talk to?
Oh, maybe the priest, Father Lysander. He's wandering around somewhere.
A holy man. I love it.
Well, he's kind of like Artemis, only he's a lot more set in his ways. And but he wanders around. You'll see him. He looks like he's about to crumble to dust, and he's got like a sort of horseshoe of hair.
That's adorable.
Oh yeah,
That's adorable.
he takes a long time on stairs.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Understandable.
You're like, just die already so I can inherit the rest of the money and power and take over. Anyway,
Well, I should get on with serving
But
people
it's
if you don't
endearing.
mind, sir. So at this point, we'll just go to the next time slot. Your options are to stay in the town square.
could I just add one thing to the very end, and I'm happy to roll like to be stealthy or sneaky to do it. There's a sharp look in Mir's eye, and I want to wait as much as I can until the party seems to be like starting to move on, and I want to turn around and I want to freeze the soup solid again. Just freeze it solid,
All right.
because Mir has a reason.
Okay. If that's what you want to do, I assume you don't need to roll, because I assume you just managed to do it straight off before. You can just do it again.
I just wanted to roll to see if they noticed, you know, if they tried to stop me. But if I don't need to roll, then even better.
No, you don't need to roll. You just, as everyone sort of turns around to discuss what they're doing, you just sort of tap the cauldron, which freezes solid, and you just sort of walk up to them as if nothing has happened.
He goes, thanks, Mum, and then he rejoins.
Okay. So, end of the time slot, your choice for the nighttime slot is to stay in the town square, or once again, you notice over by the lighthouse there seems to be a couple of figures in quite large cloaks heading that way from the town square. So, do you want to stay in the town square and see the show, or do you want to go investigate the lighthouse?
Oh, that is a good question.
It's a very
We're thinking stay for the show.
I mean, it's our strongest lead for sure.
Yeah.
But I also don't know how much of a help Artemis is going to end up being. I'm happy with going with what everyone else thinks. I'm going to throw my lot into the ring for staying where we are.
What about Ardril and Mia?
I will go with the majority here because I genuinely think that's what he would do. I think he would just see what the experts thought.
Choice. No decisions. Head empty.
He really genuinely believes he's sort of being brought on tour. So he's like, you know,
Mhm.
So dinner and a
what he
show.
knows is money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
think it's logical.
I'm
they
sorry, I
start
said
the show.
knows, but he said, but I said, I mean, has. He has money.
Okay.
Town Square.
Town square.
All right.
Ardril doesn't agree, but he's outnumbered.
All right. So you stay in the town square. After about another 20-30 minutes of more and more people showing up, eventually there's this quiet hush descends over everyone, and this man in,
he's not, I wouldn't say finery, but he's in like slightly cleaner robe than most other people, even though there is like, obvious mud around the bottom of it. Comes out on stage and goes, "Hello, everyone. It is time for us to have our congregation."
I sent you a quick DM just so you know. Just like
okay.
I slipped you a little
I'll
little
check that.
note. I don't know if it'll have any effect or if it'll matter at all, but I just wanted to throw you out.
Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. All right, so you, as I said, this gentleman walks up on stage, and for the next hour and a half, he just kind of quietly talks to everyone. The general gist of it being is just don't be a dick to each other. And as it finishes, he goes, "Right, well, that will do us for today's sermon, dear friends. I would like you all just to know that we have two little things to do. First of all, we have to commend this someone in the crowd, as we do every day. Brian has informed me that we have a former soldier with us, Warren. Warren, where's Warren?" And this rather bulky-looking man at the back kind of goes, "Me." "Ah, Warren, come forth, Warren, come forth." He sort of awkwardly walks towards the stage and goes, "We had this, we've had this done for you." And he hands him this quite obviously decorative sword. And he hands it to him and goes, "Brian said that this would help reward you for, giving up the way of violence and accepting a more pacifistic life." It's like, thanks. It's like, no problem, no problem. It was, as I said, it's, just to reward you. It's not anything else. Please don't think of anything more. It's literally just thank you for taking your time to join our little sermon.
He seems rather insistent that it's just thanks and nothing
At
else.
this point, Warren is very kind of like awkwardly like back, like going, "Okay," goes off and goes, "Right, well, finally, my children, we have to quickly do this." And he walks over to a small, like, sort of book stand he's got in the middle, and he opens the book, and you hear a small, like a seal breaking, and he turns the page, and this small semicircle of light just cascades out of the book in every direction.
I glance over toward half orc, and I say, "Wasn't that a bit like giving an alcoholic a celebratory bottle of booze
Yeah,
for
no, I was a
staying
little bit
sober?"
on par with that. It did seem a bit anti what you're going for.
Yes, good job not stabbing anyone. Here's a very good stabbing thing.
Implement. Yeah, no, it
Yes.
seems odd. Seems odd. Congratulations on
So,
non-violence. Here's a violent implement.
The light slowly fades over time, and he again sort of reads. He reads again a sort of small paragraph, and he goes, "Well, that'll do us for today, dear children. If any of you wish salvation, please don't hesitate to wait around. I will happily come down and speak to all of you. I just need 2 minutes with Brian to discuss." And there's this massive boom overhead, and then off the side of the stage, there's a huge cannonball flies and smashes through about 20 people on the side of the stage. And as all the sort of screaming and silence quietens, you just hear a "Bagger!" And then a sort of more panic starts, and you see Brian running up on the stage, grabbing Artemis and leading him off to the back. What do you want to do?
Mira's panicking so much. "There's someone in my suit! There's someone in my suit! Some of them got on my suit!"
We see
not
where
so
the cannonball thing came from.
Yeah.
It came from where you were. It definitely came from overhead, but you can't see exactly where it came from.
Where did we hear the direction the bugger came from? Obviously,
That was all the same direction as the cannonball.
Yeah. Right. Well, you want to be an adventurer? Come on, stop brushing yourself off. Let's go find out who shot Growl.
It's never going to soak out.
Just based on that, hearing that bugger, does that make Ardril think of anybody? And if possible, I guess he could use linguistics to try to.
It's not been the same as anyone you've spoke to so far.
Okay.
I was wondering
Perfect.
the same thing.
Draws his sword and slips around the shield His sword, by the way, is a little interesting in that there's a random stick that kind of pokes up the side, just where the blade meets the crossguard, which may or may not be for other things. But yes, he draws the sword and begins moving in the direction of the cannonball's origin.
Yeah, staff in hand, Zenith is legging it as quickly as he can in finery and straight after Kurgrak.
Okay. At this point, a lot of people are sort of moving around and trying to sort of deal with the injured. There's quite a lot of injured. There's definitely quite a lot of blood splattered everywhere. And
I'm freezing patches of the street wherever I have to step to make sure that my boots aren't getting wet. There's a lot of people all over the place.
Fair enough.
Worst.
As you head back out of back to the back of the crowd where everyone's beginning to disperse, you see a rather drunk-looking individual, and you can tell it's by the fact he's swaying quite a lot, with a huge rope over his shoulder, dragging a cannon back towards the lighthouse.
Right, you, stop there.
What? What do you want?
Well, you shot a cannon into a crowd of people. We came to talk to you at the very least.
It could have been anyone. It could have been anyone.
You're dragging a cannon.
Oh, bugger.
Yeah, there we go.
No, it could have been anyone.
And he swigs from a very clear bottle of very clear liquid that as soon as he stops swigging, you smell this very strong, very sweet smell. It's quite
I'd like
obviously
to
moonshine.
just touch the side of the cannon. I'm just curious whether it's warm.
It's quite warm.
It's a very warm cannon. Like almost
it's a very
uncomfortably
warm
so.
night. It takes the heat. It's dark colored iron.
A
Any naval officer will
heat-absorbing
tell you that.
cannon. A heat-absorbing cannon. Well, I can't say I'm an expert, but all right. That makes sense to me.
He just puts the rope back on his shoulder and starts walking again.
But I mean, he said it quite loudly to the group. You know, he's like, "It's extremely warm."
Stop, or we'll have to make you.
He stops and he says very good,
You can make Captain Billy do nothing. I'm Captain Billy.
I've established that from the
I'm
first
just
statement.
curious, how do you do with being on fire, Captain Billy?
You roll around a lot. Or you throw the salt bucket over yourself.
Right. How do you deal with being promptly decapitated?
he sort of twitches a few times. You can see his pupils coming. You can even from how far away you are, you can see his pupils going in different sizes, and he's going,
It's never come up yet. I hope I'd get a wooden head.
It's actually kind of interesting. It's a lot like the rolling around when you're on fire, except it's only your head.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. But
I mean,
Do
with
do you
my...
know, I once knew a man
That's
who,
true.
rather than cut off heads, he would cut off the entire body at once and leave the head.
So, would I be in my body, or would I be in my hair? Oh, this is too much of a...
he just glugs back most of the bottle.
Do you know what? What might take your mind off of the thought about whether or not you be in your head or in your body is if you think about recent events and why you shot a cannon into a crowd full of people.
I didn't do any such thing. Nope.
Now there is a distinct possibility that he may have accidentally killed the person that we're supposed to find.
Yeah. Oh no, that had crossed my mind. Yeah. No, you are.
Are we finding a person?
Question in that.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Mir, that's a whole other question. But here's what I think.
Yes, Artemis Ruth.
No.
Oh, Lady Catherine and her son.
Boy, oh boy.
Captain Billy.
Yes.
So three
Salute
people.
when you're dressed as captain.
Captain Billy. Someone with a cannon, like this cannon, fired that cannon, probably aiming at someone in particular, missed that someone in particular, and instead mowed down approximately 20 innocent people in the crowd. Now, one of those innocent people in the crowd might be a person that we've been hired to find. So it is in your best interest to help us figure out who fired that cannon and why they fired that cannon. There might be no repercussions from us anyway.
I mean, what kind of idiot couldn't put enough powder in to hit a stage from this far away? I mean, absolute moron.
Lugs back what's
You know-
left of the bottle.
You know, you seem like you've got a bit of a, you're having a bit of a hard time. I heard there's someone who can really help folks down on their luck. Someone called Artemis the healer. I think you should go and speak to him.
Oh,
he seems like the best.
He's a charlatan.
Oh, he's a charlatan, is he?
I mean,
Why would you say
it would
that?
be horrible if someone was to shoot him with a cannon.
It would be
Especially
terrible.
for gold. That would be
I
bad.
would be devastated.
For gold.
What? No gold. No.
Sorry,
no.
Did someone hire you to kill him with a cannon?
What kind of crazy bastard would pay a drunk? A drunk to shoot someone with a cannon? I mean, what kind of psychopath would do that? That can't be real, alright?
It's an excellent question.
I don't know what kind of psychopath would it take a man to do such a thing, or a woman?
I mean, definitely not a mayor-like person. That would be no. Because they're not the no.
Right.
He sort of freezes for a second, and then the cogs are vaguely clicking like he's come together, and then goes,
I'm too sober for this.
and just starts glugging back what's left in the bottle, finishing it and just hurling it over his shoulder.
Right. You're going to need to stop drinking now because we've got lots of questions to ask you. It is going to take a little while. And the longer it takes, the more painful it slowly becomes.
I'm sorry. Mum just, well, I apologize in advance. It's entirely inappropriate. I'd like to use magic to wrap ice around his neck, and in sort of just like a thick neck brace, and also like around his ankles, sort of like freezing him to where he is standing.
So,
And he's like, so I don't know what I would do if I wanted to.
so you're rolling to freeze him in place, and
I basically just want to hold him in place, very uncomfortably with ice.
okay. Roll to freeze him in place now. So do your just do your intelligence.
Okay.
So let's see how freezing in place goes.
That'll be a 22.
22 is fine. Yes, he's completely frozen in his place.
There's a weird look in Mir's eyes. He looks a bit nervous, a bit anxious, and the woman face on the staff is glowing very brightly. And he says she's ungodly impatient. So please just answer these people because it's very late and I'm very tired.
At this
and
point,
she's
he just
got
sort
a
of hear
temper.
this.
The ice is back. The ice is back. Where's the ship? Where's the ship? No, it's not. I'm not. No, going up. No.
And he just seems to be
I
like
believe
trying
this
to
is when
pull
you
his feet,
smack
but
him.
nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You can smack him if you want.
Oh, I don't smack him. I'm a smacker. Which one of you is the smacker?
Drill like slowly hauls a net out of his pack and he just throws it on top of him. He's like,
At this point, he
Uh-huh.
flails in only the way a pathetic drunk can flail.
he's been apprehended.
What good it does us.
I mean, he's still frozen to the ground, so...
Are we
That
thinking
ice
the
melts in the
mayor
humidity.
actually hired him to kill this Artemis?
The mayor, apparently. So we need to right. Who's the mayor? Who's the mayor?
He's the one in the hat, of course.
Honestly, not actually that stupid a suggestion. My bad. Bad question. Right.
Didn't break his ankles yet.
Sorry, did you say something about breaking people's ankles?
Eh? What? No, nothing.
That has
Alright, so-
that has driven me to a level of uncomfort that I do not enjoy. I think I'd like to take my net off of this man.
Mum is she's a motivator. You know, so they're not answering you. They're acting too drunk to speak. Sober them up.
Okay.
Shatter their ankles with your ice. You know.
Billy, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna need you to hold still for a moment. You keep talking about your mum like she's the stick.
Oh no, that would be crazy. No. As I'm sure you're aware, in the family's noble lineage, then at the 18th birthday, the son receives a ceremonial weapon that's imbued with the all of the emotion and love that his biological mother's soul contained at the time of her execution on his birthday by his father. And she apparently felt a very passionate sort of love for my father because she seems very angry all the time. It's it's a staff. It feels, it's a love that feels a lot like bad feelings, like the feelings you'd had if someone took your cake.
At this point, Billy just leans towards the orcus, offering up a bottle he's pulled from somewhere.
I think you need this.
So that's
Hands
not
it over to
that's not my
Ardo.
mum. That's not my mum. It's just the essence of everything she's ever felt from my father.
Hands it to Z. Mia, there's when we get back to the mainland,
Yes.
there is a person that I think you should talk to about
It's
your
the daughter,
mom.
Miss Mheruath.
It's somebody who's probably had to talk to Artemis Ruth, so like 2 degrees of connection, right?
Okay, sure.
But like they might help you discover some things about your mom's love.
Yes.
Highly recommend. Tell them that I sent you, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect. Finder's fee.
Right, so we have a prisoner who is sloshed off his face. In any other context, Zenith would think this is a good thing. But for now, should we go looking for this mayor or help the poor souls that were decimated by this cannon?
Do you guys think Artemis could like heal the people that got hit by a cannon?
Gear up since he seems stressed. Sorry?
I'm just a bit sleepy.
I don't know that there's much you can do for someone who's been obliterated by a cannon without extreme magic, which, from what Billy's telling us, this chap doesn't have. So I think our next step is probably to try and find that mayor, figure out why he wanted to kill Artemis. Also, maybe talk to Artemis if we can.
What if you pushed all of the pieces back together very quickly?
That's not how people work. Sorry, it's not like a jigsaw puzzle.
Have you tried it?
Have I tried putting a person that's been obliterated by a cannonball back together? I promise you, some of the pieces won't fit because of the aforementioned obliteration.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are weak spots in every plan.
Yeah.
While they're talking, the Zenith's staff is a fire staff, of course, stylized like a dragon's head on the end. We're still, or near the town square. It's bedlam because of the cannon going off and killing, or maiming 20 odd people or so. How much light is there around where we are?
There's not much light 'cause it is quite late at this point. And the place that you are is pretty quiet because you're just at the edge of the town square on the way towards the lighthouse.
I'd like to, if possible, sort of create a torch sort of effect on the top of the staff to create some light around us.
Okay.
And can we see the stage where the book was, where Artemis was reading from before the cannon hit?
From here, not really, no.
Okay.
But as you're sort of debating what to do, you hear a "Fuck me, it's a cannon!" And you see Brian standing on top of the hill looking down at you all. He sort of looks at all of you, then looks at the cannon, then looks back at all of you.
Moore is leaning up toward the captain, and he says very quietly, "Both of your ankles are going to shatter if you don't tell us who paid you to shoot the cannon, and it's going to happen very, very soon. I don't know how soon. It might be starting, but please, I really don't want to hear that. It sounds disgusting."
At this point, the Billy just swigs a bottle again and just goes, "Have you ever been keelhauled? It's worse than anything. Broken fingers, nothing. Broken arms, nothing. Slashes that take months to heal, that's fucking pain. Especially in salt water."
Oh, please don't tell her about sharp edges. You don't want to know what she does with this stuff.
He just sort of sways a little bit again as Brian sort of walks down the hill towards you and goes, "Anyone want to enlighten me as to why you're all standing around a cannon?"
Oh, men shot it into a crowd.
As if this shot a cannonball into the crowd. This is Captain Billy, who allegedly shot it.
I'm very
and
aware
it
of
turns out he
Captain
was
Billy.
paid by someone.
Paid by someone?
He was paid by someone to fire that cannon directly into the crowd. But he's
No, he was paid to fire it at the stage.
No, he hit the crowd spot on. He was aiming at the stage. Stage would have been destroyed.
He missed.
He's a captain. He's not going to miss.
Oh,
See,
right.
Mir, that's the issue. Is it's actually he's used to firing cannons on the sea when it goes up and down.
Right,
And there's a lot of movement. He's not used to shooting cannons when things are sitting still.
You know what? I'm glad you can talk to him.
Apparently, Artemis was the target.
At this point, they just hear everything. "That's a very good point. I should practice. I'll go back to the lighthouse and practice." And he just turns round, and again he's just like confused. He can't move. Just like, "This cannon's got heavy."
All right.
And at this point, Brian is still just standing, looking at all of you, just really confused at what the fuck's going on.
Is he safe?
Oh yeah,
we're with you, Brian.
He's safe. But I didn't expect to. Well, to be honest, I didn't expect to have to be picking shards of plank out of people. Also,
Brian.
my soup's frozen.
Once again.
Yeah, it's weird. I turned my back for a minute to get a bowl for, you know, one of the old women, and the soup had frozen again. I've had to be like
It
chipping
cools
away
so
at it.
fast. Yeah.
I'm going to stare pointedly at Mia. It's sort of like the fire on my staff, fire in my eyes. I wonder who could have done that.
Looks
Zenith,
at his feet as well.
Zenith, can I speak to you for a moment, just in private? Can we have a little sidebar?
Sidebar. Ah, fine. What is it, Mia, my good and dear friend?
All right, listen. Something is wrong with that soup, and I'm relatively certain it was magical because it was just water and mushrooms. It made us feel quite good and didn't kill us immediately, which is
Delicious.
fair enough, but yeah, it was delicious. But there were also going to be an entire crowd of people that were all going to be drinking, and it seems like if there's a very thin man who doesn't want to eat any of his own food, giving everybody free soup right before some savior comes and offers free blessings, that there might be something, well, I don't know, complicating the soup. But I'm a tourist, not an adventurer, and so sometimes there are things I need to. Yes, well, I thought perhaps the best way to prevent the effects of whatever this soup might cause. At worst, people will be slightly peckish during his speech, and at best, well, if it's part of what his partner is doing, might soften the blow, so to speak, to the surrounding populace.
Well, you know, having heard this now, there is an annoying amount of logic to what you just said, and it's going to take me a few minutes to process that.
I'm going to need you
because I
to
was
not
not
tell
expecting-
either of the other two. They are going to charge me a lot more.
My lips are sealed.
Yes.
All right. So the soup stays frozen. I will not.
Yes,
unfreeze it.
yes, it's a new thing. They're all doing it. All the families are loving it. They're loving it. It's a soup you munch. I'm sorry they weren't able to have it. That's a shame. That's a true shame.
Well, they
When Zenith walks back, he's massaging the side of his head as though he has the beginnings of a migraine. Brian,
yeah.
I walk back looking blank-eyed and happy.
I'm
Just along for the ride.
very curious. Expert in matters of the occult and magic and the divine. It is why I am here. In the interest of being able to further help people injured in this unfortunate event, would it be possible for Zenith to have a look at the book from which Artemis was reading?
Well, I suppose we could go back and see. What are we going to do about him, though? He just sort of nods towards Billy, who's swaying still.
Do you know, Brian? What? So Artemis is a very popular figure, right? People like him a lot because he's capable and he heals people and all that jazz. But what's he ever? Has he provided services to the mayor any time recently?
The mayor? Oh, well, not services as such. The mayor doesn't like him. I know that.
Right. But it feels like it might be a very strong dislike. It's the vibe I'm getting. I'm sort of a vibe reader. The feeling I get is that he might be very strongly disliking Artemis to the point where maybe he might want him, I don't know, to explode into a bunch of little bits because of a cannonball.
That's very specific, that.
It's strange. I know. It's just the vibe. It's just the vibe that's in the air.
It's a hypothetical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does he seem like
purely
a
hypothetical?
cannon obliteration sort
I mean,
of dislike?
I wouldn't have thought anyone really would be in the cannons apart from Billy. That's because Billy likes cannons. I know that. He spends all his days shooting them, don't you, Billy?
Just at this point, Billy just stares over and goes,
Oh, it's a sit boy. Fuck off, sit boy.
Right.
I could do. I don't know if I need to roll. I would like to to freeze to the point of shattering the remaining liquor that Billy has.
okay. You can just do that. He's not exactly hard to target it. So the bottle just freezes solid and then just shatters into a million pieces, like into dust.
Yeah. He the thing is, I'm not even looking when it happens. The staff, there's just like a sudden like wisp, like whispering out of it, and then the bottle freezes and shatters, and then Mir looks back at Billy and he's sorry. So she says that's what's going to happen to both of your feet very soon, and I should ask if there are I don't know what you call them, foot replacement specialists nearby.
At this point, Billy just sort of is just staring at his hand. Going,
Oh, I suggest you get sober very quickly, Billy.
You're not the boss of me.
and he just reaches out under the cannon and just pulls out another bottle.
I'm
I
Captain
know.
Billy.
Guys, it's going to be disgusting.
All right, Billy.
Set
did-
the bottle on fire.
Yep, you can
Oh, God,
you
great.
set the bottle on fire if you want.
It's
Yep.
There's
Just make it,
another-
if it's
another
a metal
bottle?
flask, it'll be too hot to hold, and
Yeah.
It's
either way,
a
the
glass,
liquid's
it's a
going
glass
to
bottle, but he
combust.
has opened it, so it's now totally flammable if you
yeah.
want it. All right.
It's
Yep.
a
You
Molotov
shoot a
cocktail suddenly.
fireball at it.
Molotov
There's
cocktail.
a massive fireball explosion around him. Billy is now on fire and stuck to the ground.
You feel the weirdly sculpted small head of a middle-aged woman sort of nuzzle your cheek, Zenith. Mir's not even looking towards you, but his arm is sort of stretched out, and the staff is sort of just like giving you a little bit of a smooch on the cheek.
At this point, Billy is
Right,
screaming
that's
very
not
loudly
at
and flailing
all
around as his alcohol-drenched clothes are catching fire.
Disturbing. So he does know what to do when you are on fire, all right? I'd like to use magic to douse the flames, etc. Just diminish it so he's not torched
Okay.
to death. You know,
I'd be happy to help with that as well.
medium rare.
He
Rather
he
than
is
well
currently
done.
like ripping off his very old naval uniform.
Yeah, if I can douse the flames with magic, I will.
Yep. You don't need to roll for it because it's just he's literally not moving. He's still frozen to the spot.
Yep.
So he's still like slapping himself very hard in the legs to try and put an imaginary fire out. At this point,
Does any one of us, you know, being magic practitioners, of course, and a barbarian, interesting thought. Have the ability to sober him up, you know, expediently.
Yeah. I mean, I could hit him.
Like a 12-step program, but just all in one.
Why didn't I
Could-
guess that the half orc was the smacker? Like, of course the half orc was the smacker.
could. Now, this is an odd question, but I have the resist poison and the resist drugs ability.
Mhm.
Could I attempt to impart some of that onto Billy to try and get him to sober up?
you can try lightly slapping him around the face and see if that rush of blood to the head seems to sober him up a tad.
Oh, I can't wait to see how this goes.
That's surprisingly not terrible, actually. Even with, I mean, my exceptional strength. With my exceptional strength, it's a 16.
16, yeah. You slap him around, he begins to... Between the fire and the fact his hair is all singed off, his beard is missing now. Just ash into his face. And you're just slapping him around. There's like clouds of soot coming off of him.
Wait.
You kind of get a kind of, oh my head.
Yeah.
There we are. That's what we want.
That's for
That's
both
the
the
way to keep
alcohol and
both
the
your feet
slapping.
on your ankles.
What?
Probably
Well, Dennis
also a
gonna
little bit from
crouch
inhaling
down.
all the smoke.
Why am I outside?
Oh, you're trying to keep both of your feet on your ankles by telling us who paid you to fire that cannon.
What cannon?
That cannon, you
Just
that
looks
one
at
there.
him and goes,
That's one.
why am I here? Looking around.
Right. But I'm going to catch you up as quickly as I can, Billy. In the last, probably at this point, 15 minutes, you fired a cannon at Artemis the healer with the intent of killing him. You did claim it was because of the mayor. If you did,
And
in
that you were
fact,
paid.
and that you were paid to do so. You did not hit Artemis the healer. You
No.
instead missed and splattered about 20 folks.
He just sort of looks at you with that kind of sobering dawn moment of just, what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not good, Billy. Things aren't looking great for you. You were also frozen to the ground, and most of your liquor's been either frozen or caught on fire.
He
As
just
it
sort of,
happens.
he just sort of stares at the ground and he tries to like sit down, but he can't really with his legs frozen, so he sort of squats. Really awkwardly, a very wide stance squats.
Yeah, it's a big one. Big one to kind of wake up to. I know, but we do need to know why the mayor paid you to fire a cannon at Artemis. Also, I would like to know if he chose the cannon as the weapon of choice or if that was just a you thing.
I don't remember. I remember talking to him, and I remember him giving me gold. I don't remember. I remember him giving me gold and telling me to take care of the problem. I don't remember anything more than that.
I would like to use some. I don't know. What would be the equivalent of a diplomacy sort of role, like etiquette, bluff? Is there like a
bluff is usually like the ability to lie, or convincingly lie. Etiquette is more
I'm more trying to be very convincing about something. I want to make him a pitch, and I want to be as compelling as possible.
It'll be probably bluff then.
Okay. Billy, you look like a man who hasn't actually yet seen the end of his most glorious years. Cut down in your prime.
At this point, he just sort of sways and goes, the last time I was this sober, I was on... Oh, God, I was on the Mary Sue.
Right. Flawless, I've heard.
We were delivering spices to the mainland, and there was these gigantic women with big things.
I'm certain they were. But the thing is, you were a captain on the Mary Sue, and as I'm sure you know, the Mary Sue being such a glorious ship, it's almost hard to relate to. Like it's not a real ship that could exist, you know?
It was...
And so I'm sure those were glorious days is what I'm saying. Flattering you. It seems almost unrealistic to put the Mary Sue in such a position. But I do know a few admirals, and I think you look more admiral than captain. And my family ships a lot of iron. And I feel that you could walk around and drink a lot and fire cannons on the land, or you could walk around and drink a lot and fire cannons on a very, very large ship full of iron.
Oh, I haven't been back on a ship since the Mary Sue crashed. Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. I think that you are a more helpful person than you realize. And I think that the more helpful you end up being, the more admiralty just seems to shine off of you. Just a thought I'd like you to consider.
Considering he's a half naked man covered in soot, he sort of strikes a oddly heroic pose for a second before bending over, doubling for his head hurting again.
Just a thought.
All right. No, he just kind of sways you and goes, "All right, okay. What do you want to know? I don't remember much, but what do you want to know?"
I'm going to let these three gentlemen ask you for as many specifics as possible, and at minimum, I'd like you to keep both of your feet. Well, after that, the sky's the limit, isn't it?
What do you mean, keep both of me feet? What's been happening to my feet? Why are they stuck to the ground?
I forgot to mention. Yes, well, they're about to be very, very. I mean, I know they probably don't feel like much of anything right now, but they're very close to being severed. Because my mother is
snaps a look straight towards you, and his eyes widen.
Yes.
And as his eyes widen, you see him immediately wince for the headache again.
Admiralty is so much easier with 2 feet. So I'm going to let them ask you questions because I think they're more qualified. They're adventurers. I'm sort of just having the experience, you know. I just want you to answer quickly because, you know, the foot thing.
Okay. What do you want to know?
This has taken a very
take it away.
interesting turn.
And I just sort of sit back, lean back against the cannon, and don't pay attention to the like faintly smoky smell coming off the back of my coat.
Do you know, Billy, why the mayor would hire you to shoot a cannon at Artemis?
I don't remember. All I remember was him giving me gold and saying to take care of the problem. He wouldn't even say anything more than that. Just always said, take care of the problem.
How did you know he meant Artemis?
Well, he said Artemis was the problem. Well, no, he didn't. Some scrawny child who was with him said that. I remember him. Really squeaky voice.
There we go.
So the plot, unlike the soup, thickens.
This squeaky voiced bastard with him. He looked about barely into his very into his 20s. Young lad, sort of badly cut hair, squeaky voice, always sort of chipping in little bits. Like when the mayor said we need to take care of the problem, he was like, he means Artemis, but this really high pitched squeak of a voice.
He means Artemis.
Aye, so sort of like that. Aye, it was like making sure there was nothing I didn't understand.
Right.
Right.
Is this squeaky-voiced delinquent? Is he generally in the company of the mayor?
I don't know who he was. I just remember him just leading around the mayor like some sort of... not doppelganger, but some sort of like extra just he'd hide behind him and then just swing round when he wanted to add little bits and then hide back round again. I think he was scared of me.
Brian, does that sound someone familiar to you?
At this point, Brian listens and goes,
"Oh no, don't say that. Don't say Gerald. It's not. Gerald wouldn't do that.
Right.
Gerald's his
Who's
fucking
Gerald?
brother. He wouldn't do that."
Artemis's brother Gerald is trying to kill him with a cannon. That's what we're saying, right?
Well, that's what it sounds like.
Gosh, I'm just throwing my bottle of water around everywhere. Don't mind me. Just having a moment. Caps lock is on now.
Well, speaking caps lock from the rest of the session.
Where can we find Gerald?
That.
Gerald, I don't know where he lives anymore, but, well, he might live in Artemis's family house, which is the mayor's house at the moment.
So they are somewhat close.
Well, it's that house there.
And he points, and just above the town square is this quite large manor house you just see looking over it.
Right. We should check out the house. That is a given. Before we do that, I really want to have a look at this glowing book from which Artemis was reading.
All right.
Because clearly some think of him as a charlatan, of course. I would not pass judgment without making a proper analysis, of course. But I really need to see this book.
Okay.
Just feel like we're getting off track, guys. Like, I'm not here to solve the mystery of the mayor's angry brother. I'm here to find the Lady Catherine.
That's a very good point. That is why we
get the other half of the payment. That's we've kind of squandered a little bit of the money already trying to find her. It's
Things with ADHD are easily distracted.
I've noticed that from you guys. You kind of get grifted.
I was thrown off entirely by several people exploding nearby. So that did distract me a little bit from what we were doing. But you are correct. We are looking for Lady Catherine. God, you, Brian, you've not seen Lady Catherine this much, we know. Billy, have you seen Lady Catherine from mainland of Drake's Arkham?
Unless she's the woman I've been sleeping with, and I don't think it's a woman, I think it's a sort of lump of straw. But it could be a woman, for all I know.
You know, I've had that before. You never know.
But
it's a scarecrow. I thought it was a human woman.
Unless that's
I hope
Catherine,
you know.
but I believe it's a scarecrow I found in the farm.
You'd be surprised how similar the reaction of a human woman and a scarecrow are to lovemaking, in my experience.
Oh no!
You know that guy I told you to talk to back at the mainland?
Just no reaction at all. They just kind of stare at you.
I think there's more to talk about when you get back to the mainland with that person.
They have that same sort of just expressionless, disinterested face.
You can talk about your relationship problems that you're having here with
no problems at all.
Well, they're a problem. You see, it's not you, it's them. It's them.
Probably.
Yeah, but you can talk to this person about them and maybe your mom things and her love, you know.
Wow.
I don't think it's connected, right?
While we've been talking, I would very much like for Zenith to sort of casually lower said staff to heat the ice around Billy's legs to melt it. Because I don't want his ankles to smash, and he seems to be reasonably as forthcoming as he can be.
I was just going to say the ice probably had started to loosen its hold as the conversation actually gained progress. So it's probably we melt it right away. There's no no resistance.
At the same time, Zenith will look around the rest of them and go, so, if we are here to find Lady Catherine and her son, and she was here to see this Artemis, we should probably talk with Artemis if anyone. None of these other people, as helpful as they have been, even have a description of the ones we are here to find. Artemis is someone that may have actually spoken, laid hands upon, etc. And I'm not at all influenced by the fact that I want to see this book as well, to see if he is actually a charlatan or someone with divine power as well. It is an idea, no?
Elf, how many people do you think it would take to properly police a hamlet like this?
By all technicalities, one, but it can vary, like plus or minus 50.
I mean, there's so many people coming in and out, and there's a lot of businesses going on. I mean, I don't know how well the policing is. It just seems like there could be quite a few people in the mayor's employ, and maybe more than 4. And if the mayor has a problem with Artemis, and the lady Catherine went to Artemis for healing for her sinful ways, I just thought perhaps we might be able to multiply our method of search. Perhaps.
That is incredibly astute, Mir. You've surprised me at every turn with just how good you are at
Oh, you have
adventuring.
no idea how many times the city guards have had to find my various stepmothers.
Right.
Always talk to the mayor.
Zenith can imagine.
Great.
Yes, they the flight years are always running around everywhere.
All right.
Please,
so
I never wanted to be married. Oh.
We're kind of formulating our battle rhythm here. I'm seeing Artemis and then the mayor, and with maybe a step in between of people who are litigious with clubs that could be employed for various sums of gold. Does this track with you, Mir?
I mean, I'm not an expert, but
Boy, you could fool me sometimes.
I would never fool you. Why would I be fooling you about anything?
Oh boy.
I would never fool you. I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool. I'm very wealthy.
No, fool to
Zenith's missing some of that alcohol.
no, same. Okay, so we're gonna find the mayor, find out who's working for the mayor, and try and figure out what's happening in the hamlet. Right? That's the plan. All right.
long as
We
we
have
find
our
the lady
next
cat.
steps.
At this point, you notice
Yes.
the sun begin to rise very slowly over the horizon, and Brian goes, "Oh fuck! I left Artemis. I better get back."
That doesn't bode well.
Unless you turn into a pumpkin.
And we will move to the next time slot with this. Where after you tell me what you're doing with Billy.
I mean, I'm actually content to let him go.
I'm going to
Yeah.
press a couple gold pieces into his hand and have Mir tell him to wait at the dock for when we depart. We will be bringing 2 other people with us, and I'll need him to, serve them properly
He salutes.
as befits his new station.
He salutes an oddly well salute, and says he'll meet you at the docks. Right. So we will move to the next time slot. Do you guys want, since that's a better point, do you want to break at this point? Or are you happy continuing?
Looks good.
I'm good either way, to be honest.
I'm happy to take a quick break just so I can run off the loom stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. All right, we'll take a
Sure.
quick
Break.
5-minute break then, and we'll be back and carry on from there. So yeah, back in a couple of minutes, folks.
Sounds grand.
When I come up with the right spear at back spoon there. Alright, so yes, we're back. We're going to carry on from there. So, your day 2 morning time slots are, you can, where are we, day 2 morning? Day 2 morning. You can go back to the town square, or, what can we have? No, you can go to the lighthouse, which is where Billy is staggered off to get his stuff before he goes to the docks.
Is there, before we decide, a place that is like secluded we could find to speak as a group? Like if we needed to take a sidebar and we didn't want anybody else around to listen.
You probably could go to the end, the lighthouse, because once Billy leaves, there is no one else at the lighthouse. There are
Can we
caves
do that?
beneath the lighthouse that might have people in them, but the lighthouse itself is completely empty.
Right, yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't know, have any gut instincts? Because I got nothing right now.
Well, I mean, the lighthouse seems like a good place to go and be secluded, but also, like, it feels like without Billy there,
Right.
it's not. So I suggest we go the other way.
But we did have those cloaked guys that were going there, but I don't know if that means that there's like things in the lighthouse to discover. That was more of a question of just where we could take a sidebar, which could really be anywhere.
Because it was 2 cloaked guys, right?
Yeah.
There was a couple of cloak guys, but maybe 5, 6 of them heading towards the lighthouse over in the right face last night.
I mean, we also missed out on probably catching Billy before the cannon happened. So I'm actually comfortable either way. I'm very comfortable either way.
Yeah. So.
Which is very helpful. Let's go to the lighthouse. Let's go to the lighthouse.
Okay.
Let's give it a shot.
You wander over towards the lighthouse. You see the sort of sad figure of Billy walking down from the lighthouse towards the docks as you arrive there. He's left the door lying wide open, and inside, all you can see is there's lots of barrels. There's some there's like a small bedroom, and there's a hatch on the floor. And when you're looking outside the lighthouse, there seems to be as you sort of follow the sort of path that leads around the lighthouse, there seems to be some sort of cave entrance just below the lighthouse.
Huh.
Thinking cave.
You see it? Well,
So-
well maybe we
You're
go
at the
in
location. You can look
hatch.
you're at this location. You can look at all of this without having to worry about time slots. So yeah.
Right.
Okay, great.
Well, should we go to the top and work our way down?
That seems
And
like a
finishing the
great plan.
cave.
Yes, we
Right.
get a marvelous view at the top as well.
You could note it down on your brains. You could describe it for your memoir.
Oh, I'm not going to write the memoir, but I will
No,
describe.
no, but you could describe it to someone else. No, I didn't assume you were gonna do anything.
Precisely the assumption
Right.
that you should make.
Yeah. No.
All right. So you head into the lighthouse. There's a sort of spiral staircase leading up. As you get to the top, there's a quite large sort of. It's like a sort of obviously some sort of wick with a massive amount of oil submerged just below it, which seems to be keeping the lighthouse lit. And as you sort of follow the stairs down, there's not really much on the stairs themselves, but you go down to Billy's bedroom, where there's the bed, and then the bedside table. Beside the bed, there was what looks like a large bag that seems to have been shoved into a drawer. What do you want to do?
I'm curious about the bag.
You pull the bag out. It's full of coin.
Yep.
Good times.
It seems like a rather good time to talk about investment.
Right. Or we just take the money for now, and we can talk about investment once we've found Lady Catherine. We've got even more money.
We could.
We may need it, invest in us straight away.
Right.
The
Yes.
soup doesn't seem to have harmed us. Does anybody think that perhaps there might be something suspect about the soup?
Oh, the soup was
Yeah.
great.
No,
It was. It was great, but it doesn't seem to have harmed us, yes? But no one who seemed to know anything about it would eat it. Right?
Right.
All right. So there's an investment to be made in the prevention of an unknown variable, let's say. So I froze the soup. And I froze the soup for the same reason that my father is slowly dying of what the local cleric is calling persistent hypothermia.
Right.
My father is not a good man. and he does not raise good men. But sometimes he marries good women. And sometimes those women are very, very angry. And so they spend their entire lives teaching their sons to behave like their fathers and think like them. And that's about investment. Because it's very important that you know how to make your father think you are his favorite son. Because then you might control iron distribution, which might control the fate of towns all around your estates. And right now, there are a few investments. There's a tabaxi who believes that I will give him any sum of money that he can think up to do just about anything. And he's a cutthroat, but he's not a good cutthroat, because a good cutthroat doesn't hold the knife. A good cutthroat lets other people hold the knife. And he is holding the knife. We have another ally, Billy, who we already know can be paid to do just about anything, but what he really wants is glory and respect, because he is a drunk without a ship, and a captain without a ship typically goes such ways. There's also a blacksmith that specifically overheard our conversation in close proximity that also believes there's a lot of money to be made. All of them know about the Lady Catherine. The mayor has control of all the remaining people that we could possibly trust to be commanded to look for the person that we are searching for. Sometimes life is chaos. No, always life is chaos. You roll the dice and roll the dice and roll the dice, and you hope every time that it'll come up the numbers you need. Every single time. But it doesn't. And it never will. And there's never enough times you can roll the dice to practice until you can make it happen. But if you think for a very long time, and if you are very quiet and indirect, sometimes you can wait a few of them. And that, too, is an investment. Now, there is a woman and a child. A mother who I imagine does not want to be married to the man she has married. And a child who probably follows that mother. I am very familiar with that dynamic because mine travels with me. Now, all of you are an investment. Not by me, but by someone too stupid to know what they're investing in. All of the business with steel as currency is done at night. We've gained the knowledge we could at night when steel would not have helped us. I'm sorry to tell you, but you just don't look strong enough to swing that sword very effectively. But all of you, every single one of you, are very, very clever. So, how about we take the information we've gained and the investments we've made and stop this from happening again so I can watch the last of my father's persistent hypothermia. Or whatever.
What exactly are you proposing?
I'm proposing we find a way to wake up ourselves, as we've been up all night, and get the bloody fuck out of here. Into that cave, out of that cave, to the mayor, wherever we need to go, to get this business done. Because the business that gets done in the day all goes, in the night, all goes still during the day. And if you want to find someone, you wait till the people who may have taken it have already done their business.
So that would be now.
Yes, that would be now.
Is as good as plan as any?
Oh, it's not even a plan. just a bit of perspective.
So, the cave?
Yeah, man, yes, the cave.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And then to the mayor.
All right.
It's the mate.
You
We're
head.
gonna snag the gold. All of the gold that
Alright.
was there.
That's fine. You pick up the bag of gold. You take it with you. You head down the side of the lighthouse. And you make your way around to this entrance to the cave. As you make your way through it, actually, everyone roll me an awareness check, please.
An awareness
check.
Let's make this interesting.
I have no faith in myself after the last 2 rolls. My practice and real one have been nat ones.
I have a 15 for you.
15, okay.
That would be a 7.
7.
Well, that would be a 16.
Alright.
Sorry, we've rolled a 16.
10.
10.
Okay.
Wow.
Alright. As you're walking down the passage, one of you spots in the passage itself sort of burns its way down, and at the very bottom seems to be quite a large cavern. There's obvious signs that there's been meetings and such here, but there's not really much to go on really, apart from the fact there's 1 or 2 discarded robes and a table with some very half-eaten food. But as you're heading back up from the cave, one of you spots a small opening to the side. As you lean towards it and push with minimal might, you see a door just slowly slide open.
Look over here. Quickly.
As you slide the door open, you follow another small passage down. And as you get about maybe 5-10 more minutes down the passage, it just immediately opens up into this massive chamber full of thousands and thousands of it's like little luminescent plants and mushrooms and lots of just fauna and just growing plants all around. And as you look,
Hey, there's mushrooms.
look directly across from where you are, you see there's a small, again like a sort of small inbuilt cabin into the wall, with the door slightly open. What do you want to do?
Do these mushrooms look familiar? I know they're glowing in this moment in time, but do they look like...
When you look around the walls, there's so many different types that you recognise quite a lot of them for the ones that were being used in soup.
Sure. Okay. Cool.
Do we know where they're getting them from now?
Yeah, I would say let's go investigate the cabin. I don't know if there's anything
Yeah.
else that we can see. So the cabin's built into the wall at the far end. Is there anything else like a sort of, I don't know, an area that's being used to prep these mushrooms or anything like that?
No, doesn't look like anything else.
Alright, yeah, then let's go to the cabin.
Alright. You walk over to the cabin and gently push the door open. Inside, you hear the sound of snoring, and as you sort of peek round the corner of the only room, you see 2 figures sort of, for want of a better term, spooning each other. One with his arm wrapped around the other.
Again, same question. Do we recognize either of these individuals?
As you move closer and you have a bit more light in the thing, you recognise it as Brian and Artemis.
Right. But it's just them. We don't see
It's
anyone
just the
else
two
or
of
signs
them.
of anyone else. Okay.
As you look
Right,
around the room,
so-
you see a couple of small possessions, like a small herb bag, and you do see Artemis's book lying off to the side.
Is there anything you want to have a look at
Alright. You do not have to ask twice. I'm going. Yes. I'll
In
just-
the meantime, I'd love to try to identify some of the life mushrooms, especially that are sort of growing around here. But just is that alchemy or
It would be nature.
nature?
While he does that, I want to have a look over the book.
Okay. Roll religion, if you have it.
I don't think I have nature marked
do.
down. Is that going to be an awareness or an intelligence? I'm thinking classification, like studying herbalism, but I don't know if that's how this is.
You can probably look at them, but you can't really identify many of them. You can see there's hundreds of different types that are all very minutely different from each other in like big patches as they're growing around. But you can't really
Okay.
identify much more than that. You can spot the differences. but you
16 for
can't-
religion.
Right,
You can
right.
spot the differences, but you can't work out what exactly they are.
So there are variants, but they all look quite similar.
Yes. As for the religion check, you look over the book. You pick the book up and you flick through the first couple of pages. It's very dense script of a very archaic language, very old and very. You recognize it, you've seen it before in like very old text works, like very old like monastery text and stuff. As you scrap to the end, you see there are like two sections of the book that are sealed with like what looks like small wax seals. And as you just sort of try and just gently wiggle at one of them to see if they'll move, there doesn't seem to be any give at all. You can't even like move the bottom of a page up to see something with the seal. It seems that once, because the seal is there, you can't look at the next page.
Right. I will convey that to like quietly to the others. We want to take this with us, just in case.
I mean, something shady's happening. Do you know what I mean? We're poisoning folks with
Indeed.
soup. We're doing weird stuff. So
So what I want to know is, did he seal these passages? Is he reading from a book that he cannot entirely? Is it hidden from him? From everyone?
I have a decent. I mean, I know some of them are sealed off, but like I have a decent understanding of languages. I could have a peek to see if I could understand what the bit. Awesome. All right, I'll do linguistics and see.
Yeah.
I'll
It would
look over his shoulder.
It would be literacy for written text. Linguistics is spoken.
Literacy.
Yeah.
I
Linguistics
have
is spoken
literacy.
language.
That's good. Oh. So that is going to be a 15 again.
15. You look through it. Again, it's very ancient, archaic text. It's you flick back in the pages and you flick again. There's a lot of repetition, like needless repetition. It seems.
Is there a way that I could have a look at it as well, or do we want to like?
If you sort of all sort of passing it around and looking at it all with a bit of confusion,
Yeah,
then you can
happily.
pass it around.
Yeah. I want to pay specific attention, not just to maybe understanding the text, but to the patterns of the excessive repetition that you mentioned. Sort of do a little reading between the lines, so to speak, like a structural examination, not just the words themselves.
That's fine. 10. You see repetition
Just a
of
10.
repetition of the number 7 a lot.
Okay.
I'd like to have a shot at literacy to see if I can discern languages, patterns, and things there too.
Yep, sure.
I'm curious
quite a lot of sevens on these pages. 7 and 7 and 7.
25.
Nat 20, yes. You read the ancient text and you recognize a phrase, and a very, very deep-seated memory comes back to you from all your memories and understanding of the divine. You find this book mentions the end of the world.
Okay.
So what's the Bible? Right. Could be nothing. Probably isn't. Definitely taking this with us. It mentions the end of the world. I don't like what I'm reading here at all. And the significance of the number 7 repeated is beyond me, but I do not think we should leave this here.
Right, yeah, no, that doesn't sound like something we want to give to folks who are essentially poisoning folks.
Indeed. All right. Book and pack.
Okay. You take the book. Are you doing anything else before you?
Artemis and Brian are sleeping
Still
quietly.
Yeah, they're just sleeping on the floor in a sort of effectively what would basically be like a corner of the room with like a blanket over them.
Yep. They seem safe.
I was gonna say, we don't need to do anything to them, do we?
I would leave
Yeah, but
them.
we couldn't seal the door shut.
But then they'd suffocate and die.
Well, we don't have to seal it with not a single gap. I just might keep people from getting in there or out of there very quickly, but I suppose it could have its
Right, to be
upsides and
fair,
downsides.
Look, you have to understand, earlier on today you were talking about shattering someone's ankles
That.
and how aggressive your mother is. So, like, forgive me if when you say seal the room up, I automatically assume you mean so that they suffocate and die.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I sound like a right prot.
Right.
That is one
So-
way of putting it, my friend.
Okay.
All right. Let's get out of here very quickly, very quietly, and continue searching. Oh,
Right.
All right, then.
Yeah.
You work your
make
way
sure
out.
they can breathe.
You work out through your way out of the caves. As you get
Mhm.
to, let's just say, when you get to the out of the caves, the time slot will change. So as you stand out of the caves and sort of midday sun beats down upon you, you look around and you see that the town square's always got something happening in it, but you see a couple of carts heading down a sort of small mountain path. It looks like they're leading. It's low tide and they can head towards all the shipwrecks are to do some looting and scrounging. Or you can also go to, let me just have a quick check and see where other people are. You can also go. No, it's mostly just town square and the shipwreck, well, the sort of low tide beach. As I said, you can change your mind and go anywhere else you want, but those are the two locations that definitely have something going on.
Do we want to go back to town square or do we want to go to this beach?
I like the sound of the beach.
I'm down.
I'm curious.
Alright.
The beach.
So you follow the carts down towards the beach, and you see Petal is there, as is a couple of the other traders, and they seem to be like ripping the wood off of the ships that have crashed into the rocks. You see a bunch of people still climbing their ways down from ships that have crashed. It looks like that the ship is wrecked beyond repair, but people have not drowned because it's not too deep. So they're now just all exiting the ship. And as you get there and you're sort of wandering around looking, you hear a strange voice going, "Hello? Hello? You? Hello? You there? You, brutish-looking fellow. Hello? Could you get me down?"
You're right. Oh, yes, for I am incredibly strong and athletic. Let me give you a hand there.
And as you look up and it's about 3 stories up, but maybe like 15, actually no, about 10 meters up, you see this quite brown-looking woman in obvious like blue and purple finery, looking down, going, I don't want to be a problem, but the last people wouldn't help me.
Bollocks. All right. Yeah. No. Just shit. Does anyone have like a large amount of cloth? Like a large amount of cloth? Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of sails lying around. You could scrap them if you wanted.
Right. Oh, you stay there.
Yep.
And we're gonna we'll grab some canvas from ship. We're gonna hold it out taut, but not too taut. And you're just gonna jump into it, all right?
Oh, one doesn't jump. No. One's not the jumping type. No.
You could try
All
falling.
right. I was gonna suggest that. Yeah, fall. Then
Oh, but what if one hurt oneself when falling?
you'll be alive but in pain.
And not stuck.
That doesn't sound
And not
too
stuck.
entertaining.
No, but does staying up there and starving to death sound brill?
Oh, my son has
Yes,
found lots
the
of food in a
alternative
box.
is not good.
Your son's found lots of. Why hasn't your son helped you down?
At this point, you just see this very rotund child just walk into view with his finger wedged firmly up his nose, just looking down, staring down at you. I mean, Jonathan is not very good at climbing, are you, Jonathan? The child doesn't react, he just continues to stare at you with his finger wedged up his nose.
Right, we'll be back with the canvas, and we'll deal with what happens next after. Right, come on, lads, let's find some sails or something like that.
Yeah, you can salvage them pretty easily. They're just sort of, the whole area is just full of wrecked ships.
Alright.
While you're looking, you do find a large nameplate for a ship called the Mheruath.
This was it. Hey, Mia. This was Billy's old ship.
Yeah, does seem so.
You know, might be worth, I don't know, considering finding out what happened to it, because, I mean, if you're hiring him, you know, you want to know whether he ran aground or whether he was struck by some misfortune.
That's fair enough.
Alright, well, let's, everyone grab a corner of this. We'll pull it again, taut, but not too taut. And I'll get her down. Don't you worry.
Did you not think to ask her name?
I did. Oh, crikey, O'Reilly! What an excellent question.
Curious.
Hi, what's your name, miss? Is your name Catherine, perchance?
Lady Catherine, please. Use my title.
Oh, bugger and hell, we've been looking for you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm glad we found you.
We're here to
don't worry
rescue
about-
you.
Yeah, exactly that. Though, yeah, we didn't necessarily know you'd be in a tree.
All right. So what are you gonna do?
So if we pull this, if everyone grabs a corner, so I'm just gonna like, out of as subtly as I can, which is probably not that subtle because I did not take anything in stealth or anything like that. Just gonna pull the stick that's attached to my sword just off the sword and point at the limb of the tree that she's on.
Well, she's up on like a bit of a ship.
Oh, she's up. Sorry, I put the ship she's on. Sorry, my bad. And I'm just gonna strike it with lightning.
All right. You strike the ship with lightning. She flies from the ship, emitting a, I can only describe as a "Ah!" as she plummets forward, landing on the sailcloth.
Hey, Christ. There we go. Look at that. You made it. I said you could jump.
Am I dead? Is one dead? How does one know
No,
one is
you-
dead?
Well, you would know, but
one is not dead. One
And
is
you're all in
quite
one
alive
piece.
and well.
She sits up immediately, and then she goes, it was quite dangerous. I don't know how I feel. I'm all flushed.
It's like, how'd you end up there?
Well, that was we were on our ship, and then it sort of smashed into the rock, and everyone sort of climbed their way down. When I asked for assistance, I got told, "Bog off, old bag," which I found very offensive.
bloody rude, that.
And-
So, is this the ship that was bringing you here?
Oh yes. I've been on it for about 5 days now.
Sounded like Billy had been saying, you know, it sounded to me from what Billy was saying that this crashed like months ago.
The badge from Mheruath was like slightly further down the beach.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that was my bad for fixing it.
No, that's all right. I was like,
So what
all right.
actually brings you here, Lady Catherine?
Oh,
Yeah.
Could we please get my son down? I feel so worried about him up there. He's
Oh.
up so very high.
What was his name again? Sorry.
It's
Jonathan, she said.
Jonathan. Yes, Jonathan.
Jonathan. Jump. Cool.
Is there a way that I could make an ice slide down from where he is to the
could.
ground?
You good?
I look up and I say,
Not a bad idea.
Jonathan,
Much better solution than
you know
mine.
what I like? I love a good slide. And then I'll wave my staff and sort of pull the seawater up into sort of a flowing slide toward there.
No.
Should I roll for that or?
Yeah, roll for that. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
It's elaborate enough that it could go hideously wrong, so let's roll for it.
Yeah.
Oh, this could be delicious.
This could go wonderfully, horrendously wrong.
16.
No, you make
So
a relatively decent
Okay.
slide all the way up. It stops right in front of the child's feet. The child is just standing staring at it. Again, finger wedged up into his brain.
Gosh, you got to take that out of there at some point, lad. You're
You just hear
tripping.
the sort of
Oh, God. All right, you
Wait.
can put it back.
he sort of looks at it and he wipes it on his shirt and then puts it straight back up.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh boy. Oh jeez.
delightful. Right, okay, so... good. Well, you're safe and well, which is nice. You know, that's good, isn't it? It's lovely to have you alive and well. What do we want to do now?
I would recommend that we take them back.
I mean, are we...
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, forgive us one moment, but do we want to take them back? Because, like, they left for a reason.
I think
Like-
maybe we should at least talk to them about why they left.
Yeah, right. Like, let's find out about
that
it.
is
and then-
what we were asking before. Lady
It sounds to me
Catherine,
like they
why did
left
you
a
leave?
bad
Why did you come
situation
here?
to join a cult.
At this point, you hear
It's not unheard of.
the voice shouting, "Jonathan, don't step too far to the edge. Stay very dangerous."
He'll find his way down.
Jonathan, At this point, you just hear a "you," and she runs over towards. You see a figure fighting with some wood in the distance. And you hear, "Could you get my son down, please?" You hear, "What?
Yeah, sure. If you got any money, Bella will very happily get your son down for money. Yes.
And it's just like, oh, it's just anything. I have lots of money. Yes, please get my son down.
Lots of money. Well, of course. Petal can help. No problem at all.
Oh,
At this point, you just watch a very elaborate 5 minutes of Petal building a very terrible sort of ramp all the way up, and then getting to the top and literally just kicking the child Spartan style onto the slide.
I look up at Petal and I wave, and I.
He comes in and goes,
Right, now you are a brat, lovely child is down there. Can you have a payment for Petal?
oh yes, my butler will deal with it. Yes, go talk to him.
Your butler.
And he sort of looks at all the rest of you and goes, I'm trying to work out which one of you is a butler.
Oh, you've got to be kidding if you think for a second.
Well,
At this point, Lady Catherine turns to the rest and goes, well, I appreciate your assistance for helping me down, gentlemen. Could you please get my bags? I'll meet you at the inn. And just turns round and starts walking up the hill.
Sorry, hang on. Just 1 second, ma'am.
Just
You left.
Yes.
You left your home. You came here seeking Artemis.
Yes.
What is other than absolution? Like, what is it that Artemis convinced you to come here for?
Oh well, this gentleman gave me a pamphlet, and she holds out a pamphlet to you that basically looks very similar to the one you saw before. And she says, I got told I was living in sin.
I'm sorry, you upended your entire life because some bloke gave you a pamphlet.
Well, yes. I mean, it speaks lots of words. I mean, look how big these letters are.
Big Boris.
Very big letters.
I've got to say, it brought me.
Yes.
Magnetic.
Oh,
It's
God.
a cheap track.
I mean, if he can heal all these people, surely he can stop me from my child from living in sin.
There's a bit of a problem with that. You see, he did such a good job that somebody exploded half the crowd with a cannon.
Yeah, they tried to kill him with a cannon.
And if you had not been trapped at the top of the ship, you would have been in that crowd more than likely.
Oh, I'm sure that
Yeah.
wouldn't happen.
No, it did happen.
Yeah, there's
It did.
like,
It already happened.
there's like bits everywhere.
Oh, don't talk about such things around my Jonathan. Puts her hands on the child's ears. The child's just staring at you blankly.
I
he not
wouldn't
bad?
worry.
He's very delicate. You didn't hear anything.
It looks like he's maybe been through an abduction. The life is gone.
She just sort of turns him round. She leans down. She goes, "Jonathan, you're fine, aren't you?" Child just stares back with like no words, and she goes, "See, this is about as wordy as he ever gets. He's fine."
Can I make an Arcana check to see if there's maybe something supernatural going on with the kid?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
He's just gonna be a douche.
With this fucking child.
It's just a little bastard.
Like, oh, you're just weird. Cool.
That grow up around people
That's
that
just a
weren't
9.
brothers.
Yeah, 10.
So the two of you do a check. Both of you get this feeling there must be something magically wrong with the child. There must be. There must be, because he's too quiet. There must be something wrong with him.
Do you care about your son, my lady?
He is my life.
He doesn't seem to be. He seems to be rather lifeless.
Well, he's just overcome by the excitement of having to live out of drawers for the past 4 days.
Really? You're his mother. Tell him to tell me he's overcome by excitement.
Oh, he's overcome by
Oh, they
excitement.
talk.
Look at him. Look at that.
Well,
Then I'm
that's
sure he could say it. I've been overcome by excitement. Quite recently, actually. I ventured with a crew of curated experts on a real, authentic adventure.
And she just sort of looks down at the kid and goes, Jonathan. And she just very, very lightly smacks the hand out of his face. Jonathan, take your finger out your nose. Come on, tell these people that you're fine. And the kid just turns towards you
Is it?
and just stares at you. Like completely dead behind the eyes, stares at you.
Does he have a pulse? If Zenith sort of crouches down,
He has
sort of a friendly kind of gesture.
He has a very slow pulse.
Okay. So we know there is something. I suppose we know, like, can cast a spell that's like a curse
And
removal kind of thing, or
And Ardra will take a look at him now that everybody else is convinced that something magic is happening.
Sure, what do you want to do?
I can try Arcana.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a shot.
please do better than me.
Yeah. The goal right now is to go against the grain and prove to you guys that he is fine. That is a total of 20.
20.
An unnatural 20, yes. You do an Arcana check. There was nothing magical about him at all.
Guys, I've been around kids like this a lot. He's just weird. He grew up with a butler. He's not talked to people in his life that weren't like asking him what he wanted. Like, let me try. Hey, Jonathan. Do you want like anything to eat?
He nods.
Perfect. Is there anything specific that you were supposed to tell your butler when you needed food?
He rifles through his pockets and pulls out a small bell.
Perfect. See, guys, he's not weird. He's just ingrained to be an asshole. Apologies. Jeez.
At this point, the Lady Catherine is just standing open-mouthed at you going, "How dare you call my child an asshole?"
It was
shouldn't be
not
saying such
hard,
things.
which was the problem. I'm sorry.
At this point, she just takes him quickly by the hand and says, "Come, Jonathan, we're leaving."
That's probably not for the best.
Yeah, we can't let you go.
What do you mean you can't let me go?
Well, you see, we need to bring you to safety.
That safety can be whatever you want. I don't know if you've ever had an interest in the iron industry, for instance, but you seem well educated. I'm just saying you need to not be here.
Aye.
It's more dangerous than it looks up there, and I'm not sure Artemis can solve it today. It is inappropriate for you. It's more inappropriate for your son. And whether or not you're particularly good at calculating your own decisions, I would hope you're an adequate mother.
She immediately sort of shakes her head a couple of times, and you feel her filling with emotion. She's like, "I'm more than an adequate mother. I
Then
only had
you're not going up there.
I only had 3 nursing wives. How else is a mother meant to cope without 3 nursing wives?"
That I will admit, is a hardship I cannot personally imagine enduring. However, it is in the best interest, without those nursing wives, or butler, apparently, that you act in the best interest of your son. There is a semi-retired admiral that will be escorting us on our way back, and some other resources that we've accrued.
An admiral? Ooh,
yeah.
I like an admiral.
Oh, yes, he is let's say pending being very distinguished. I suggest that you take the advice of these gentlemen here, as what I would like to think of as a peer, and that you consider your options, because Artemis can save you, but as we both know, so can gold.
Well, I suppose it's a interesting proposition.
Well, you should cooperate with these men. They are professionals.
That's
They've
us.
provided me with a truly authentic experience that I won't soon forget. So I'll vouch for them personally.
Right. She sort of begrudgingly. What about living in sin?
You can do that if you want. But if you don't want to, I suggest don't.
But
What
Also,
do you thought about
like,
that?
ma'am, everywhere you go is pretty much nothing but sin. So, like, instead, you should have the sin and be rich.
That works great.
It just so happens that I have training in seminary as well. If it is absolution that you seek, well, I am more than happy to give you the absolution now.
Mir
and then you
leans
can come with
toward
us to a place of
conspiratorially.
safety.
Mir leans toward her conspiratorially and said, I have had absolution from Artemis and from this gentleman over here. And
had
I
it
have had
twice?
a lot of absolutions. Oh yes, you can never have too many. But you need a qualified professional, and let me say, this man, he absolutes like you would not believe.
You absolutely.
Ooh. And she immediately gives him a very sort of let's just say fluttering eyebrows, not even eyelashes, eyebrows.
Luscious eyebrows.
Manicured eyebrows.
Cute.
All right. So, as she goes, but what about my bags? All my wealth is in them.
It's there's a guy that's great for the job standing there. Hey, Petal.
Yes. Are you the butler I'm seeking?
You'll find
Yes,
him.
he is.
You'll find him at the docks, actually.
Oh, I see.
But this lady needs help with her bags to get them to the docks.
I see. Will I be well rewarded for my time?
Petal,
Yes.
have you ever heard of let's say a fixer?
A fixer. Do you mean in the in which context do you mean, sir?
The exact one that makes your claws clack the way they do.
Well, I may have heard of such things. What about it?
Do you know what a professional fixer is called?
A professional fixer, usually dead.
Dead or a manservant. I think there are careers to be had. I think there's a lot of potential on this island, and I suspect perhaps even a vein or two of iron.
I see.
What if, in the interest of demonstration of your abilities, you watch this woman and her son and the person that they are to meet, and make sure they and their bags remain completely untouched. And the more intact they are, the more professional we'll consider you. And then I think perhaps we can all have a very long talk, because these three gentlemen would assure you that I am, well, not an ungenerous employer.
I see. Well,
Wealthy beyond reason.
well, if you word it like that, I mean, I assume this offer would be away from this island.
That offer could be wherever you want it to be.
He stops moving his fingers at this point and just goes,
Oh, you have my undivided
Wherever.
attention.
I suspected I would.
So, you want the bags to the docks, yeah?
I want the
Indeed.
bags, the docks, the woman, and the child in exquisite condition, preferably improved upon.
Oh, well, I suppose I could try.
alright?
I suppose you could, and I have a feeling you're more resourceful with your trying than most of the people on this island.
Well, I do have a reputation.
Yes. So let's see them cleaner than Artemis's ours, and away from here.
Well, I suppose so. I know where there's some soap in the docks, so that's fine. I will get to it.
Yes, out of sight.
Alright. So Petal immediately runs off. You see them grabbing bags and throwing them into a cart. You see him throwing Jonathan into the cart as well. The Lady Catherine seems very annoyed that he's just thrown the child into the cart. But
You take what you can.
Needs must.
I assume you're heading to the docks then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. You head to the docks. You charter a ship with Billy. And you leave. With all the things intact.
and the mayor can kill Artemis at his own whim and will.
That's their problem. Our
That's a
problem
them
is on
problem.
the boat.
Well,
Absolutely.
I alluded to earlier, but congratulations. You've saved yourselves and the world.
Oh.
Game's over.
Ah,
Oh.
well.
So we took the book.
You took the book.
We took the book.
So we just like nixed the one thing they needed and then got our business and went home.
Yep.
That's
The one
mwah.
thing you needed to do for that ending.
That's
is
funny.
beautiful. I love it.
Alright.
I love it.
I will let you do the plugs, and then I will explain any other questions that you have. But I'll do that off stream. But first of all, we'll just say, who were you guys? Where were you from? What do you guys do? So people can find you for more things you do. We'll start, and we'll end with Nate, so starting with John.
I'm John. I can be followed on Twitter at the Wolfie Bard. One word, yeah, of course. I'm not on Twitter a great deal, etc., but it's something I have. But you will definitely find me on Dice Imitate Life, playing a slightly creepy death priest that does grief counselling with these chaps. So yes, that's pretty much it for
He
me.
is oddly the friendliest member of the party.
Weirdly so, yeah.
Alright, next we have Kenny.
Yeah, hello, I'm Kenny. You can find me on Twitter at Castian Blake, Kastian Blake. That's where you'll find me everywhere. Obviously, as I said before, I am an actor, singer, and voice actor professionally, but you can find me on YouTube playing through various video games, usually story-based things, at Castian_Blake on YouTube. But also, most importantly, you can find me every Wednesday night with these beautiful people playing Kiav the Bard in Dice Imitate Life.
Alright.
Come say hey.
Then we have Morgan.
Yeah, so my name's Morgan. You guys can find me, same as everybody else, at Dice Imitate Life every Wednesday night, U.S. Central Time, Standard, yada yada. In addition, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/GrizzlyMomo, GrizzlyMomo. You can also find me on Twitter or X, whatever we call it nowadays. I don't use it very often, but I do get notifications if I get messaged or anything. And you can find me there at Grizzly Morgan. So that's GrizzlyMorgan. And on Dice Imitate Life, I play Cuff Bronzepage, the I would say very objective-driven gnomish wizard.
All right. And finally,
Minus
of
one in the
course,
group.
he who will tell us all about Dice Imitate Life as well. We have wonderful Nate.
Thank you. Hey, thanks, man. And thanks again for giving us the opportunity. We are Dice Imitate Life. I'm Nate Sugar. I am only one part of it. If you want to, for whatever reason, talk to me individually, on Twitter, I'm Nate Sugar Tweets, as all one word. Everything else, everywhere else, is /Dice Imitate Life or @Dice Imitate Life, whether it's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, etc. You can also find all of us collectively, as well as some additional cast members that you'll see tomorrow night on our premiere at 9 p.m. Eastern, U.S. time, at the Dice Imitate Life Discord community, where you can also put together your own games and meet other people that are part of sort of a welcoming, inclusive community about and for survivors, directed toward hope. Because we're not the only people that have a story to tell. Not here, not on our stream, not anywhere. Everyone has a story, and every sort of story matters. I hope that we see you, but even if we don't, be kind to yourselves, be gentle with each other, and always be a little better than you have to. That's what we're about, and we're glad to be here. It was an honor.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Indeed.
you guys are fantastic, and I genuinely loved running through it. You guys will all do fantastic character acting, and I love you guys all. So, I will go and I will answer any questions I have from them, but we will raid out there. I'll just say now, if you guys can all just send your social media info to Nate, and Nate sends it to me, I'll just put it all in the description of this. So if anyone wants any of that information I've just heard, it should be all in the description of this when it's on YouTube. And when it does go to podcast form, we'll make sure it's in the description for that as well. So yes,
Awesome.
thank you everyone for being a part tonight. We are going to go raid someone. I don't know anyone else doing D&D, unfortunately, so we're just going to raid someone that's doing he's playing in Sound Mind, because he's the first person I saw. I was like, I'll just raid him. So we're going to raid Zuma. He is a wonderful dude. He's doing a bunch of horror games for Halloween times, but he usually does a lot of relaxed games. He's a genuinely lovely, cool down person after everything we've just been through. So let's go over and see him. He'll probably just spend 5 minutes and he'll end up taking a dab from his bong, and he'll just be like zoned out for the rest of the thing. But that's what he does. He's a genuine great cool down guy to watch after this kind of stream, so we will go see him. But thank you once again to people who have been tonight. You're all wonderful fucking people, and I love you all. I've enjoyed playing this. Go check the guys out. Links are all there. Follow them all. They're all wonderful people. So until next time, folks. I should probably do our streams. Our next streams will be tomorrow. I'm doing a charity thing with Crimson Pleasure. I will probably, hopefully, raid into these guys if we finish early, or if I finish late, I'll at least be in the chat for these guys before we go over. After that, we'll be doing Thursday is me back to doing indie horror. I'll be doing weird and wonderful, bizarre indie horror that I found on Steam. Friday will be myself, Tom, and Zeph playing Distrust, and then maybe me and AJ playing some Sons of the Forest. Sunday will be Dark Tide, which is our Dragon Age TTRPG, and Monday, I believe, is Everlasting Week, so it should be Mr. Greg back in the DM chair doing his Everlasting Tales. So yes, that is our full week. Thank you again, everyone, for watching this. I'm going to go answer some questions and then probably pass out. But until next time, you all take care. Have a great rest of your week. Take care, folks. Good night.